How's it going? Welcome one and all. This is the GamezAttack podcast, episode 57. As I am calling this episode, Switched Out. Hopefully this all records okay this time. Okay. Because the last time I was trying something different. I was just trying a little weirdness. I don't know. I was trying that, it's a test thing. It's a test beta thing. I think it's a beta thing in NVIDIA's broadcast control panel, where you could like make your whole sound, make myself, and get rid of all the other noises and stuff, but also make myself sound like I'm in an actual professional recording studio. But then when I recorded it, and after I recorded, because I can't listen to myself, I can't listen back at myself to what the recording is, because I am doing this via OBS, so that could probably be one of those main problems there. But I can't hear like feedback from what I am recording to what I am, personally listening to later. I have to wait till I listen to the podcast, which seems very arbitrary if you would think. To do so. Like, I could pause this right now and just hear myself back. So usually I do like a test ahead of time, and I did do like some tests ahead of time, and they sounded okay. But then when I recorded the whole podcast and I listened to it back, I'm like, oh boy, I sound retarded. I have to say, I sound like a moron. I sounded really bad. I know you could probably hear me better. I don't know, but it sounded really bad. I'm like, this is supposed to be what a recording studio sounds like? And I was like, yeah, the sad trombone. That's what it sounded like. So I did not do that. I did not. I used it just for that one podcast. So I'm sorry for everybody that listened to it or watched it, because you can watch this too on YouTube. And sorry about that. I just wanted to try something else out. Because, my voice and the microphone here, it's all different, I don't know. I just got a bad voice for audio, I guess. I don't know. I sound better in my other videos when I'm playing games, but when I'm doing a podcast and I'm just recording myself, I don't know. I don't know what happens. But here we are. Another podcast, another games podcast, GamezAttack podcast episode, the 57th episode. We're almost getting up to 60. That's going to be awesome. I can't wait till a podcast 100. I will try to do something special on podcast, GamezAttack podcast 100. I don't know. Maybe I'll reflect or something. But yeah, a lot of stuff going on, a lot of stuff been going on, a lot of stuff going on, and all I can promise is I am not going to get into any politic talk, especially in the gaming industry. No policies, no politic talk on tariffs or boycotting companies like Microsoft and stuff like that. It's just if you don't like what's going on, just don't buy the product. Do not play, do not buy, whatever. You just use your own judgment. I'm not going to complain. I'm not going to whine. I'm not going to act like these other podcasters out there, which most of them, not all of them. There was a surprise. I didn't finish this one podcast yet, but I'm almost done with this other podcast where they usually talk a lot of basically politics stuff, and they're the Democratic, left-wing, woke kind of talk podcast, but they didn't speak anything this week about politics or this or that. They might have said something about a tariff or two, but I don't think I heard that. But basically they spoke just directly about video games and such, and I was like, oh, this is what I want to hear. This is what people want to hear, and that's what I try to bring you guys. The other guys, they're complaining left and right about this, about Microsoft, about tariffs, stupid this, that. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to say, because I'm all for that. I'm all for the tariffs and stuff. And I got my own reasons, and I got, I look into that stuff and I see, okay, this is going to be good. Let's hope we don't get it. Let's hope we do a good job at it. I understand what they're trying to do and all that. I try to understand the stuff. that others would just deem just bullshit right away. And, all the other stuff going on. And I know it causes problems and heartache for other people and out there because everybody's different. Everybody has different jobs, gets paid differently. A lot of our needs and wants are different than others out there. And I understand it's a hard time for a lot of people, but we're trying to get back to a point in time where we're not going to bury this country in debt, and because this country's already super far into debt and all that, and which we're trying to make it, or they're trying to make it so that we can turn back the clock and try to make it right for us mainly, but also wake up the rest of the world to what the hell are we all doing, with all this trade and stuff like that. And it's trying to get fixed. Now, a lot of people think it's a mess, and how it's done, it's being a mess. And sure, nobody's perfect, and nobody has the perfect ballpark or plan on how to do stuff. Everybody just has to be patient, and things got to get tried out, because if you don't try anything out, then you're not doing anything. And if you're going to just let things continue the way they are and you think they're good now, maybe that won't be into the future. And then when that stuff happens, then it's just, then it's already too late, and I'd rather have people and presidents and companies try stuff than just give up and let it all go down the drain. That's just my point in general. I like to try stuff. I like to do stuff. If it doesn't work out, then I back off or do something else or try something else. I just don't let things break down, falter, and then just go down the drain. That's just me in general. So talking about stuff that's been really getting really broken, and I should have put my mouse over here, so hold on one second, folks. I have my mouse over here, and of course my mouse pad's breaking again. I have to super glue a portion of my mouse pad here and stay away from this portion of the mouse pad before I do it, because all the little goo is coming out of the mouse pad on the other side. What do you expect about these third-party mouse pads that I get custom made? They don't always last forever. But I want to talk about stuff. I want to talk about the whole Nintendo Switch 2 pre-order. Basically, people say, oh, it's a debacle. But here's the thing. Hasn't every console launch been a debacle? Every console launch. Anything with a big ticket item, a big item that everybody wants, hasn't it always been a debacle? And, talking about retailers and stuff, they're not going to get it right. They'll try stuff, but nobody's going to get it right, and nothing's ever perfect. Every time even since the Wii, because the 360 I got like a year after, so I was able to get a 360 no problem. But when I started buying consoles like almost day one, or in that period where they were not plentiful, like the Wii, it was out of stock, and I wanted a Wii, and I was just lucky enough to be in the GameStop at one point, and the guy knew I wanted a Wii before, because I would come back, and I'd go there all the time, but I'd be like, yeah, if you ever get a Wii, and let me know. And then they let me know, and this was at a time when Mr. Mike was barely making any money, so I used up like my whole credit card, and I had scrounged some cash on me, and I just paid with half cash, half credit card. And I was like, yeah, I'll buy the Wii. I don't have anything to play it. Well, I did have stuff to play on. I think I had GameCube games or something, but I was like, oh, there's a free packing game and stuff, so it didn't matter. So, I had the Wii, and then when it was like the Xbox, was it the Xbox One and stuff like that, I was just lucky enough I pre-ordered a bunch of them, and I was able to get I would go to each site and pre-order a bunch of them, and of course, the sites all went down like instantly, and everything went crazy, but I was able to get an Xbox One, and then the Series X and Wii, or Switch, not Wii, Switch, the same thing where, I just had to just keep refreshing, go to certain sites, with, I think, the Series X, I think I bought that directly from Microsoft that time. I think I bought it from Microsoft at the Microsoft website, and I think that was the best way for me to do that, because everybody else, like Best Buy and everybody, were just breaking down like crazy and melting down. Everything, the internet just melted down. Now I heard some people had like special things where they would just put everybody that was going to wait in a queue, like they dropped them into a server or whatever it is. I think it's like dropping them in a special waiting server, and then they would take people's orders, a bunch at a time, so it didn't overload their pages and servers and stuff, and everybody was in a nice queue waiting to get onto the site to be able to pre-order and to the consoles and stuff this time around. But still, it was like a big F up, apparently, to everybody was saying a big fuck up and stuff. But I don't know what you would do. They freezing on a bunch of sites. And it was all the big retailers like Walmart, Best Buy, Target, stuff like that. I don't know about the Nintendo store. I think is selling a little bit later. And GameStop is selling a little bit later as well, right? Or pre-ordering or something. Or no, they did. I think they did do pre-orders, and those went out. And then they said they were canceling some bot orders or doubles orders and stuff like that. And they were gonna just have cancel one of the two so that everybody can get one. And it happens all the time. It's not gonna not. This thing will never not happen. And if you're willing to go to the stores right away, right when they open and pre-order one, usually that's still the best bet, I guess. Especially if you still got a GameStop around. I don't know where I have a GameStop around. We used to have many. Now we barely have any. Otherwise, I would just wait. Like the rest of us, just be patient and wait. Are you really going to miss out on anything if you don't get this little plastic device right away? And are you going to be playing it a lot? Are you just going to get it just because of Mario Kart World and stuff like that? I can understand that because, I was young once, and I was always, I got to get it right away. And I still do, like when the new ROG Ally comes out, the Xbox version, when they, I guess, will fully announce it at the Xbox Showcase coming up in June 6th, I think. I got it written down here. I will definitely probably pre-order one of those. And plus, there's a phone. There's that new Motorola Razr phone 2025 edition. It's going to be expensive as shit, but I'm thinking I might want to get a new phone because my phone, I have Android, 15 or 16? I got a very old version of Android on this phone, and this phone has been acting up a lot sometimes, and this is an old phone, and it's not getting its updates, so technically I should get a new phone. It's not like, I'm just going to waste money on another phone. I got what do I got? That Motorola Note, whatever the latest Note was. It's really cool. It's emerald green, but it's old now. It's still usable. It still, runs things. It's not slow, but it'll crash a lot. I'll have to reboot it, a lot of stuff. And like I said, it's not getting its major updates. It's not getting a major Android update. It's not getting security updates anymore. So technically, I should be getting a new phone, especially if this is my main phone here. So I am probably going to get another phone. And if I'm going to get another phone, should I purchase the most expensive of the Razrs? Because I think the new Motorola Razr, and I know this is a gaming podcast, folks, but I'm talking about pre-orders and stuff. I know the new Motorola Razr, the one with the Snapdragon Elite 8 chip in there, which they use I think they use that chip in the Microsoft computers and stuff, those Microsoft RT computers and stuff like that. Did they call it RT, or they just call it, or they just called Microsoft AI computers or something, or Windows AI computers, Windows 11 AI computers, whatever. That's the chip that they use in those computers and tablets now, or they try to. They're trying to still do it. I haven't heard much about that. I don't know if people are actually buying the Snapdragon computers out there because they're not upgradable or anything like that for memory and stuff, but you can add more storage, but you can't upgrade the RAM or anything because that's all attached to the chip set and stuff. So I don't know if people are buying those. I don't know if those are running applications well. I hear from some people, because I do listen to Windows Insider people and people that actually use Windows and all that, that they are good. But for gaming wise, I think they're still working better on that with, you know, the graphics and stuff. But the phone, because I don't play games on my phone, I just want a good, quick, updated phone. All I'm going to be doing with the phone is taking pictures, looking at stuff. Plus, I wanted something that would fold up, because those Razer phones will fold up, and I could easily put it in my back pocket or something. It's not just this bulky thing sticking in my pants and stuff like this one. Like this one is. This is a big phone, but I want a big phone so I can see things big and clearly, because I got my shitty eyes. And I also want the phone to have enough memory in it, or storage, I should say. Not memory. Memory too, but storage, so I can put all my MP3 music in there, because I'm old school and I like to put my own music on there and not listen to Spotify and streaming stuff, but put my own music on there and podcasts and stuff so I can listen to those and be able to use it. Plus, with the Razer flip phones, you know, they got a screen on the backside, so when you flip it down, you got the nice screen that you can use and utilize, and I thought that was a very cool feature, especially with the new ones they're talking about that they can record 4K, and you can use them as like a camcorder. You can put them in like camcorder mode and stuff, and I'm like, that's really interesting. So, but it's going to be expensive. It's going to be like $1,300, and that's not including sales tax and everything else, so... But it's this thing that you buy that I would buy once every 4 or 5 years. Like, how long did I have this phone for? Like 3-4 years, I would think. But also, buying a new Android phone. Supposedly, Google stated that the Android updates for phones should go up to 7 years. That they would provide free updates to phones. And the manufacturers would provide updates to phones for up to 7 years now, I think. They said 7 years. It's a weird number. They should do like 10 years or 8 years or something like that, but they picked 7. So technically, if I get this new phone, it should last me 7 years, at least for the software, which that's all I want is my security updates and my Android main updates, and then that'd be fine for me. So spending over $1,000, I think I spent like $400, $500 on this phone. I haven't spent a lot of money on phones because it's a phone. And all I want is a storage on it. But if I was going, because they also have the lower end versions of these phones coming out as well, but they lack the power, they lack the storage. If they had the storage at least on those phones, I'd be considering them. But they're going to only have, 256 gigabytes in those. And the larger one is going to have 512 gigabytes. Or if I don't know, I think it's going to be like $1,500. If I wanted a terabyte one, I would be able to buy a terabyte version of the phone. And I do use a lot of storage in my phone. Now note, they also don't have micro SD card slots in those phones. So this one does, so I actually popped in an extra, 256 gigs or something on that on top of it. And if I wanted to, I could put a terabyte memory card in there and stuff. So that's another thing. It's a personal thing. You know, phones are very personal. They're units that we all do. And some of you probably play games on your phones too, so you probably want the latest greatest. And the other thing that I always worry about these new flip phones is the screen in the middle with the folding screen, because that's what they have. I'm worried about the creasing or the screen breaking and stuff like that. But they've been coming out for a little while now, for a few years now, and people say they're better. And if I can use that outer screen more often and not have to go into the inner screen as much, only if I want to look at like web pages or something big on there, that would be very helpful. But I want to test one of those out, and I'm hoping those will be out. They're supposed to be fully announced in this May, so very, very soon. Around, I forgot when their Motorola event is, and hopefully they'll be in like Best Buy stores or something, so I can actually go play with one, look at one. Probably also Verizon stores, but I'll look at a Best Buy store too and look at it and see, hopefully see it fold and stuff. Maybe ask to see if I can put one in my pocket to see if I can, how it feels in the pocket and stuff, because it is something, it is a big purchase, and I would like to see it before buying it. And if I was to buy it, I might buy it from Motorola directly, just because I think you get an extra savings sometimes and some extra, warranty and stuff. But so also Best Buy offers a decent priced warranty on the phones too as well. So I might check into that as well. But it would be a big purchase, and it would be something that I'd have to look at first. Because if I'm gonna get my next phone, it would be something like a flip phone, because it would be really cool to have one of those, instead of just getting another candy bar phone that's going to stick in my back pocket. And then if I hit it all the time and stuff, it's not going to be good. Enough about that, though. Like I said, I plan on getting that ROG Ally, whatever it's going to be called, the Xbox ROG Ally, which that's what I think it's going to be called, the Xbox ROG Ally, because they already got the ROG Ally X and stuff right now. But I think this will be the Xbox or ROG Ally or something, whatever they will call it with Microsoft. For the next one. But that's going to be my Switch purchase. Technically, that's going to be mine, is the next console and handheld from Asus. But yeah, the pre-orders for Switch 2 though, why don't we get into that now? We'll talk about that now, before we talk about the games I played in the past week and stuff. So we'll go bouncing around here. So let me get to my other screen here. Well, no, I didn't want this. I didn't need word count. I got bounced into word count. So basically, talking about other news on the Nintendo Switch 2 front of pre-orders, one of the biggest news stories was that in Japan alone, Nintendo stated that 2.2 million people applied to pre-order a Switch on My Nintendo store in Japan alone. And of course, Nintendo warned them that there will be a significant number of people that will miss out on it, because this is apparently also the fact that the Japanese version of the Nintendo Switch 2 is also $100 cheaper than everybody else's, because it's region locked. So they are also making it cheaper in their region compared to everybody else outside that region, which pissed off a lot of people out there. They're like, well, why is that one $100 cheaper? Because first off, Japanese pride, it's their hardware. They're selling it, it's a Japanese company too. So their yen is weaker than everybody else's money, even ours still. And they're just making it so that the Japanese people can buy one. And I guess, of course, the Japanese people love the Wii, or the Switch. I keep calling it the Wii for some reason, the Switch. So I think that everybody wants the Switch too, and why not? So apparently 2.2 million people in Japan. That's crazy. That's crazy for it. But like I said, Nintendo is the Apple of the video game world. So of course people are going to spend, what would it be, like $350, $400 for a Switch 2 in their region there. For the people that won't be able to get their pre-orders or pre-orders guaranteed, they stated that they will be keeping those other people in the queue, so that when another round of Switch 2s are available to purchase or pre-order or purchase, they will be then handing those out to those select people, continuing going on further, which of course it's a new product and stuff like that. And of course, if you want it, and this is going on around the world on how the pre-order invitation priority was for Nintendo Online for everybody's regions. If you were like in America and stuff, or anybody else, you must, the requirements to pre-order or get a pre-order invitation from Nintendo directly would be, you must have been one who purchased the Nintendo Switch Online, who had purchased any Nintendo Switch Online membership. I did a couple times. You must have had paid Nintendo Switch Online membership for a minimum of 12 months. I did it one time, and you must have opted in to share gameplay data and have at least 50 hours of total gameplay hours. To share gameplay data. So opt in for marketing and stuff like that, I guess. Yeah. Here's another thing. The funniest thing is, and this is going on before I talk about any of the other stuff on here about the pre-orders were when they went live and everything was a mess, like everybody's saying. Didn't Nintendo push the Switch 2 a year forward? Like, didn't they push it back a year just because they wanted to combat scalping and stuff? Wasn't that their original messaging where they were like saying, hey, because we think, and because everything else was going on, you know, you got the end of COVID was coming up and stuff like that. Everything else was just getting back into order and stuff like that. And before everybody knew people were elected into various roles and stuff, I think they were like, okay, we're gonna have to make sure when we release this, we want to release it in big batches to the world so that scalpers wouldn't be the ones being able to put these things out there and try to sell them at ridiculous prices and stuff to people. And we want to avoid that. So that's why they waited an extra year, they said, before they would announce and then ship out Switch 2s for people. But then all this stuff happened where it's like, okay, now they're talking about tariffs and stuff, and I understand that, but where did all those Switch 2s that you had a year to make go to? Or were you not making them as quickly as you should have? That's my question on that. And nobody was questioning that. I've been listening to people's podcasts about how everybody was talking about how, oh, yeah, there wasn't enough Switch 2s. And I only heard a few podcasts because a lot of them, because it just happened like last week. So I got to listen to what this upcoming week's podcasts are for people's other gamers out there say about pre-orders and stuff. And I'm wondering, because nobody else said it yet, but how come that Nintendo didn't at least have enough to combat these scalpers in a way? How come here in America we didn't get enough supply? How come other people didn't get enough supply? I thought they were making them a year ahead time. And if you do that and they ramped up a process to make these things, even though people would be paying $450 per console or more, depending on what region you are, that doesn't explain that how this all got like semi messed up and how supplies weren't as coming out. Like they were mostly made in China, I hear, the Switch 2s, and then it was who was the secondary? Was it Vietnam was the second place that they're making Switch 2s. So they make them in China and they make them in Vietnam, but Vietnam doesn't make as many as China. So I'm wondering why they weren't more prepared for stuff. And you can't blame tariffs because this was all going on before like any of the tariff stuff. This was a year before the tariff stuff. So they should have been more prepared, I think, with more units, and they should have been stockpiling more units. Maybe they just didn't want to store them in warehouses like across like in other regions and stuff like America and stuff, and they were just like, let's not store so many over here and there because it costs us money to store these things. I don't know. I would think it would be a lot less than to keep shipping them and stuff. I don't know. I don't know how that would have went for them, but I thought they would have did better because that was their whole message. They're like, oh, we're going to combat these scalpers and we're going to make it so much easier for people to get because we're going to have so much more supply in the chain and all that. And then it just went boop, right down the drain. Or should I do one of these? Hence, when they announced the new pre-order dates and stuff after they canceled the last one because of tariffs and stuff, Then pre-orders went live at 9 or 12 a.m. Eastern time. They chose a midnight date at a time, which a lot of people were saying, why do they choose midnight? Well, here, first off, that's in the middle of the night. It's probably, I would say, the best time because everybody's home. Most people just want to sleep, but everybody would be mostly home at that time. Two, it's not during the day, during a business work day for people. So I guess that's what they chose. And plus, midnight launches are normal for gamers out there, or it used to be the normal when we also used to stand in line and wait to pre-order or purchase something new on our local GameStops or game places out there, you know. So at 3 different retailers, Walmart, Best Buy, and Target or Target, I guess the whole actual rollout for the Switch 2 pre-orders were a big mess. Of course, people trying to pre-order Switch 2s wildly varying levels of success, and folks on social media were reporting a whole host of problems as well as resulting in frustration, dejection, and rarely triumph. Over at Walmart, Nintendo Switch 2 would-be purchasers were dumped almost immediately into digital queues to buy their systems, and while it did move forward for some and ultimately end with a Switch in the cart, others are still waiting on a stay-in-line screen with no indication on how long the wait is or whether or not it will be successful. When they finally do get enough to purchase, some folks are reporting baffling error messages or whatever was going on. Target didn't have a queue like Walmart, so first it seemed like the Switch fans saw more success over there, but reports rapidly began mounting that purchasers were running into error screens throughout the purchase process. And while some people thought they were purchasing a Switch 2 successfully and even reached the confirmation screen, they later reported seeing cancellation emails rolling into their inboxes moments later, forcing them to start the whole process over. Others reported that Switch 2s actively being removed from their shopping carts midway through the process, forcing them to start over. And then, as a Best Buy whose pre-orders didn't even go live on time, the website read coming soon for half an hour before finally beginning to pop folks into a digital queue slowly but surely, with purchase confirmations only just now starting to become through for some, while others deal with some of the aforementioned errors and restarts. And at all 3 stores, some have said that they're dealing with fraud alerts from their banks or other weird financial blips that are gumming up the works and forcing them to start all over, ultimately denying them the chance at a system entirely. So, yeah. So this happens all the time. This happens, like I said, this is the same stuff this is no surprise to me. This is the same stuff that happened many times before at many other pre-ordering events for any consoles. This happens like every time a console is being pre-ordered. And I believe there's no way to prevent that unless if the systems are directly set up for one of those, like who was it, Walmart or somebody, where they have a pre-order wall, so not everybody's flooding and DDoSing their servers, but when they're coming in, they go behind a wall, they get in line, and digitally they get a digital ticket in that line, and then eventually they'll be let in, which they should be let in after the digital line should allow them to put in at least their information or something, or sign in or something, and then when the line is at a point where, okay, everything's organized, then it should let them in a bunch at a time what it can handle and allow them to go right directly to what they want to do, like purchase a Switch 2 or something, or pre-order, I should say, and then have the credit card information all good, have that, and then they should be guaranteed because of their account. Like, first off, they should have an account with Walmart, which I would think most people would, and then that purchase or that pre-order would be linked to their account for a certain amount of time, and they say, hey, you got this pre-order. Do not worry. If something happens, you fall offline or blah, 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 or fall out of the queue, we got enough of we know how many Switch 2s we're getting, because hopefully Walmart and them know how many Switch 2s, and hopefully the computer software was supposed to be smart enough to know, okay, this many people are in the queue or in line. They're not going into barter systems yet, but we know we have this many. These are how many people are in line. We could kick out the rest of the people, say sorry, but we ran out, or there was already an amount of people in the queue that we can handle that are able to get a Switch 2. So there you go. And then when people go in, those people in the queue, they get a digital ticket or whatnot, they should be able to link that to their accounts for the pre-orders and say, hey, you're guaranteed this for this much time, for, I don't know, 24 hours, 1 day. If you do not purchase this within this amount of time, like a day or something, I would give people a day. I don't know. You can give them less, but I'd give them at least a day to purchase this. You got this Switch 2. Do not worry if you drop off, whatever happens, whatever act of God happens. This is linked. This Switch 2 pre-order is linked to your account. Come back later when the servers and stuff are not bombarded and stuff. You could pre-order. Do not have to worry. You got it. There you go. That would make it a lot better. But are these retailers going to do that? I don't think so. I don't think they're going to do that kind of stuff. But that would be the perfect thing to do. If you're logged into your account, you want to get in line, or better yet, you know what they should have did? Instead of doing lines and pre-order lines and stuff, they should say, hey, you're interested in this? Here, you got an account with us? Here we go. Sign up. Put in all your information, even if you want to put in your credit card. When those people do that, then when it's time to start pre-ordering or something, or when they're allowed to pre-order these pre-orders, they could say, okay, this amount of people did it this time, this amount of people got that. You're only allowed one per person, per account, per address, etc., etc., etc. That's what they should do. And all that computer software should read all that and say, okay, you're only allowed one. You're only allowed one of this. You're only allowed one of this Switch per account, per credit card, whatever. And then say, okay, this person did it this time, this person did it this time, and according to what time these people got their pre-order information in, they could go, okay, you all get a Switch 2. The rest of you, it's out of, we don't have pre-orders for all the rest of you because we ran out of stock. But if you want to stay in that, we can give you your pre-orders the next round of Switch 2s that we get. If you want to continue to stay in there, you click yes, whatever. If not, thank you for trying to come. That would make things a lot more swimmingly better. Why would retailers do that? Why would anybody do that? Retailers just want to sell things. But if they wanted to make things better, I think that would be a better way to do things. There could be a better way, but there isn't going to be a better way because retailers do not they don't have people creating software that way in the back ends. They don't want to make it that simple. And how many times do they ever get big items like this that are selling out like crazy? It's only when consoles come out. Do you see people rushing into pre-orders to pre-order TVs and maybe iPhones and stuff if it's like Best Buy and Apple and stuff like that? That's about it. What other items do they really have that, this new chocolate milk is coming out. We've got to pre-order this chocolate milk before it's off the shelf, or the special box of cereal or something. I can see Pokemon cards maybe because people go crazy for those, but maybe it's because they don't have this happen that much and they don't really want to spend money and time and effort to actually have it robust enough so that when a console sale comes up or a new console comes out or something, or a piece of hardware that or whatever that they know, or people know that this is going to go drive people crazy to get. But why wouldn't you have that anyways? You know what I mean? But I don't know. I don't run businesses, but I know how a business should work. And frankly enough, that's not how they work. Anyways, And I'm looking at stuff here. I'm looking at pre-order stocks and stuff like that, and they're all out. It doesn't matter where you go. It doesn't matter if you go Walmart, Target, GameStop, or Best Buy. I could go to GameStop right here. Let's check out GameStop. I'm going to proceed. Yes, let me proceed. It says still coming soon on the GameStop site. So I'm guessing that GameStop either already still sold out of all of them or just ran out. And then I'm looking at the bundle here, and that's still out. So I'm looking at everything here because I got all the sites right at my fingertips here. How about Walmart here? Well, we got Switch 2, but no consoles. We got plenty of games for pre-order for the Switch 2. Those are available. A lot of them say a lot of these cartridges say game keys on them and not actual games on the carts. That's another big thing that Nintendo's doing with this next generation of games and stuff on their cards. A lot of the games are not on the cards, and you still have to download the game to your Switch 2, but you still get a card, and it's a digital code in the card, just like most games are nowadays on Xboxes and stuff. So, yeah. Yeah. And I'm trying to look here. So this is at Walmart, and Walmart has very, 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 very bad. Yeah, they're not showing any Switch 2s here. They're just, not even if you can even see if it's out of stock or something. They just don't show it on their website. They show all the accessories, everything else, but no Switch 2s. So they just took it right off their website. How about Target? Let's see, Target. Out of stock on both. So both are out of stock on Target, of course. And, of course, I think I seen Best Buy already, and they were out of stock too, right? Yeah, out of stock, or coming soon, as they like to say. Yeah, so they're all out. And Amazon isn't pre-ordering any. What was it? Wasn't it? I already checked GameStop, right? Yeah, they were out of stock. But Amazon, I don't think was selling any. Or pre-ordering any or anything like that. Yeah. It like I said, people, you could think it's a bad situation, but it happens all the time every year. And it's nothing to worry about. Things like this, they will come back in stock. There will be more in stock. Just do not go to scalpers to get your pre-orders. Do not go to eBay or whatever and purchase one if you're desperate and stuff like that. Do not buy it from a scalper. Do not give a scalper that kind of. If you don't buy it from a scalper, that means eventually scalpers will not want to scalp these items anymore because they know nobody will buy it from them. And if nobody's going to buy it from them at their ridiculous prices, if they have them or not, then they know that, oh, this is a fool's hardy errand and that they're not going to keep selling stuff like this anymore. So the more that people do not buy from scalpers, that'll make the scalpers go away because they're going to have all this extra stock of Switch 2s in their hands or whatever, or however they get it. And then they're going to be stuck with all this expensive stock, and they're going to be like, which I think the last time, was it the Xbox or was it the PlayStation? What was it? It was something the scalpers bought a lot of, but yet it was super plentiful, and then they just ended up selling them at cost or below cost. Was it the PlayStation 5 or something? It was one of them. It might have been the PlayStation 5. I don't think I heard anything about the Xbox Series X or S, but it could have been the PS5, and I think the scalpers bought like so many of them that nobody was buying them, so they just had to sell them at retail or less. So they were losing money on those pre-order or scalped orders and stuff because they couldn't return them. And I'm like, yeah, that's good. That's good for everybody because maybe you could get a Switch 2 cheaper because if nobody's going to buy any of these scalped Switch 2s and everybody's going to wait, if people have patience out there, then the scalper's going to be like, oh, we got all this stock. We got to get rid of it or else we're never going to make any money off of them or get our money back. And then it's going to be like, oh, fire sale on eBay and stuff. And then you could go in and go, okay, we'll buy our Switch 2s from them because they're going to be cheaper than retail. That would be a great, fun way, right? Right. I would do that. But, unfortunately, a lot of people out there do not have patience. A lot of people out there do not have, I hate to say integrity enough to wait if they can't get one. They'll get one any way possible. Like I said, I used to be young. I used to try to get them, I have no patience, but I still had enough patience. If I didn't get one, I would wait to get something like a Wii or whatever. And I didn't have fast internet like I do now, but now I'm like, whatever. And I knew if I would have tried to get a Switch 2, maybe I would have got a Switch 2 because I'm usually pretty good and lucky on trying to pre-order stuff like that. But otherwise, like I said, I believe I'll wait for the OLED version. Even though a lot of people say they were not going to make an OLED version, I think that's foolhardy. I know they'll probably make an OLED version, and I know it will be another $100 or $100 and whatever dollars more expensive because that's what they're going to do for that. But eventually, if I do decide to get a Switch 2, I will get the OLED version down the road. And by that time, other things will be cheaper. Maybe some games will go cheaper and stuff. And then I'll get a better deal on stuff. And, like I said, I don't play my Nintendo Switch that much. I play it enough. Like today, I am planning on recording another Switch 1 memory classic. And I'm going to be playing Super Mario Wonder. Yeah, Super Mario Brothers Wonder here. This is going to be my next Wednesday Let's Play. First, my Let's Play, and it's going to be a Switch 1 classic, or Switch 1 memory here. This is my next memory, because I like this game a lot. Yep. Super Mario Brothers Wonder, people. Great game. Great, very fun game, Mario game, and I'm going to be doing it this Wednesday. But, like I said, me personally, and I said this on my stream on Friday when I was streaming the rest of Avowed when I beat it. I said directly to everybody, I'm like, hey, I'm not in a hurry to get a Switch 2 because I don't barely play my Switch 1. I do play it. I did play a ton of it at launch and a lot for a while, but then I went more into PC and Xbox. Even my Xbox Series X, the only time I really use it, I do play some games on it, but otherwise I've been mostly using it as a media hub for just to watch movies and TV shows and stuff on. Otherwise, I have not been using my Xbox as much. I've been mostly using my PC and my ROG Ally, and I've been mostly gaming on that stuff as my main game unit. So if that's the case, why would I spend a ton of money on something and try to rush to try to get something new if I'm not going to play it that much? Now, if you're going to play it that much, if that's the thing that you play and you're not buying a PlayStation or Xbox and you don't care about that stuff, then understandable. But for me, it's like, no, I don't really need a Switch 2 right now. I'll wait. Now, sure, I'm not going to be providing game coverage for those games when they come out at launch on June 5th and stuff and beyond for a couple years or something. And it's not like I make money off the videos that I do or anything, but sure, I'll be out of the loop for a little while on the Switch front, but am I really missing out on anything right away? I don't think so. I'm not even going to play online with the thing. Like, they're going to have Mario Kart World where you could go online with people, you could do chats with people online. I'm not doing any of that stuff. When I get it, I'm just going to play the games on the unit and, around the house and stuff, not online with anybody, with friends or family. So I'm glad it's coming out. I'll be glad to get one. I actually just decided, because I was originally going to play The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom as one of my Switch 1 memories. I'm going to hold off on that game because I heard it plays really poorly on the original Switch. A lot worse than the Breath of the Wild. Now, I played through the Breath of the Wild. That was amazing on my Nintendo Switch. But Tears of the Kingdom, I hear it runs like dog shit. So I'm going to wait till I get a Switch 2 down the road, and then I'll play that on that, because that would be a better time and hardware to play it. Plus, I'll pay the extra, whatever, $10 or so to upgrade it to the next tier or something. What is it, 10, 20 bucks to upgrade it to the HD 4K whatever version of it. So that's a plan. That's a plan. But yeah, don't worry, folks. They're gonna send more. They're gonna bring. Trust me. They want to sell you consoles. They want to sell everybody as many consoles as possible, and they're gonna sell them. They're going to sell them. They're going to keep making them. They're going to produce as many, and they're going to keep driving them into this country and everybody else, no matter about tariffs or not, and they're going to make some money off of them. I'm just so surprised on how fast they're selling. Now, they're $450 or more or less, depending on what region you're at. If you're in Japan, less. Here, $450 here in America. Or if you're elsewhere like Australia or something, it's like $550, $560 something, which is bullshit. I feel that's why I'm glad I don't live in Australia. Sure, it's beautiful, but dangerous over there and stuff. And that's a beautiful place. But for gamers and stuff out there, I feel so sorry for you guys because you're getting fucked up royally over there. Or Brazil or something. You guys are getting fucked up over there too for stuff like that. But otherwise, yeah, I'm surprised on how fast. I was predicting that there would just be more stock than people purchasing them because everybody's complaining about, like me, the game prices are higher, the accessory prices are higher, and they're nickel and diming everybody on everything. And a lot of people were also complaining about the Switch 2 price at $450 plus, and I'm like, oh, people aren't going to buy them at this time unless they're buying for a graduation gift or something. People are going to wait till the fall and to the holidays, but I guess I was wrong on that because shit, holy crap, selling out here, there, in Britain or in the UK, probably the rest of the world, selling out of these Switch 2s already. It's crazy. Crazy. Like I said, 2.2 million people wanted to purchase a Switch 2 in Japan alone. In Japan alone. Here in America, sold out. How many did we get? Did we get like a 2 million or something of Switch 2s I heard that they sent over here? I don't know if they had more or less. I don't know. I don't know what the case was of that, but shit, that's like 4 million right there. Then when you go to other countries and stuff, that adds up. They could easily be selling like 10 to 12 million units at least, as I predict. I don't know how many units they had and how many that they were trying to sell, but I'm thinking it's at least close to 10 to 12 million units out there. That's my prediction. We'll find out eventually, because news always gets out and people always do all the math and stuff. Eventually, we'll find out a number on how many Switch 2 units get sold right away, have sold out right away, and we'll get all that information eventually, and then I'll be like, wow. 10 to 12 million units, people probably will think right now that, Mr. Mike, you're crazy. They'll sell maybe 8 million units at the most. I think 10 to 12 million units. Or more, you never know. I'm predicting between 10 to 12. That's my prediction. Yeah, sorry for those that didn't get it, but don't worry, you'll eventually get one. Wait till around the holidays, Christmas time, stuff like that, Save your money. Get a ROG Ally. Get a ROG Ally Xbox edition, because then you'll be able to get Game Pass Ultimate, and boy, oh boy, you'll be playing a lot of games on that. A lot of awesome games. Like I said, I'll be talking about those in a little bit. Other talk on that, Nintendo Switch 2 edition game carts work on Switch 1s according to the publisher, so that's interesting. So they'll be backwards compatible. Like they said, Switch 2 carts fit in Switch 1s, even though they're made for Switch 2s. But if they're game cards and they're digital codes or something, maybe games too, if the games are on them, maybe that because whatever software is on them, they'll be able to be used on Switch ones as well. Or if you want, they want people to upgrade to a Switch 2. So it says here that the game will go to the appropriate, download the appropriate edition depending on what system it is. So that's good. So hence why Nintendo kept the game carts the same shape and look, except for they're red instead of black and stuff like that. They kept the same shapes and look and stuff, and because they probably figured, maybe people want to make the game available for both the Switch and the Switch 2, and then it'll download or whatever. So they knew ahead of time that they were going to do this stuff, and that's pretty cool. Nintendo previously stated that the Switch 2 edition games would contain the full game on the cartridge and not require a download, but it was unclear if the Switch 2 cartridges would work with the Switch 1, and apparently they found their publishers said, yeah, they'll make the game available for both, on the physical cart and stuff like that. That's pretty cool. That's what you got to do. That's what they should do for some of these games. If people want, because don't forget, there's a bunch of us that have Switch 1s out there. And if you know that the next gen console is coming out, but you're like, well, I want to sell this game on, and I want to be able to be played on both the Switch 2 and 1 version, and I don't want to have two separate carts manufactured. Of course, you're going to have the game on one cart and be able to have it to download updates or whatever patches, depending on what system it's going on, the Switch 1 or 2, and that's really a smart way to do stuff like that. I would think, yeah, it's been a week. It's been a real humdinger of a week when it comes to the Switch 2 pre-order chaos out there, and like I said, hey. People like the game still, and they're willing to spend anything for it, no matter how much money they're not making, how much in debt we all are, and how much the economy is, how bad it is and stuff. It doesn't stop people from purchasing stuff like this. And I wonder how many games have been pre-ordered already, how many peripherals have been pre-ordered. I wonder how many people bought that stupid overpriced camera, or extra docks, or extra expensive Joy-Cons and stuff, or plastic wheels and stuff like that. Oh boy, I wonder how many of those got pre-ordered already or purchased and stuff like that ahead of time. Because that's craziness. That's, like I said, they are the Nintendo, the Apple of the video game industry. Nobody can touch them, no matter what. Sony or Microsoft cannot touch them. Microsoft can come close though, because they got not only all these studios, and they're the heavy third-party game producers now, and maybe even heavier if they eventually buy more game studios down the road. You never know; they might still be open to purchasing new game studios down the road, but they're the heavy hitters now. So, and with Game Pass and stuff like that, and then if this whole Play Anywhere initiative gets stronger, which they're trying to push and make stronger, which I love, because I would love to be able to play my game anywhere on anything, not just an Xbox, but on my PC and ROG Ally. I would like to play it, or if people want to play it streaming on their TVs or whatever. Hey, I like that notion. I like their notion of saying, hey, it's not just the box anymore. Anything can be the box. You can have a box here. You can have your PC there. You can play on your PlayStation. You can play on your Switch. And you'll still could be in the ecosystem of Xbox. Because if they're not going to win on the console front, they got to do what they got to do. And they'll still make consoles for people that want to buy straight up consoles too. So that's great too. And like I said, if they're handheld visions are good. Like I said, if this Xbox ROG Ally is awesome, because it's supposed to be like a stepping stone to their official Xbox handheld, apparently, that could be something really big. But like I said, I'm more interested in the Xbox ROG Ally right now, because like I said, I will purchase that sucker. I will pre-order that damn sucker right away. See, I'll be that person when it comes time for the ROG Ally Xbox. Now for an actual fully portable Xbox, we'll see. We'll see what they offer on that. So enough about talking about Switch 2. I think we're all switched out, right? I'm all switched out. And I haven't played or did anything with the Switch 2. I beat 2 great games over the past 2 weeks already. 2 great games, folks. And this is we can put this into the games that I have played in the past week. We could start that sucker up.
The games that have been played in the past week.
Oh, excuse me, I had to drink some milk. My throat was already getting all scratchy. A lot of talking. So I beat already 2 games because I played a bunch of games in the past weeks. The one I recently just beat on Friday, which I think I mentioned briefly, Avowed. I've been playing it on my PC and ROG Ally, and then eventually I just was playing it on the PC because that was my new streaming game of every week. And then we'll get back to the first streaming game I've been playing and streaming. Well, have I been playing and streaming it before that? No, it was before Avowed. It was Like a Dragon, Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii, and then I went back to Avowed and started streaming it. Yes, that's what I did. But I streamed Avowed. I said I was going to continue to stream it until I beat it, and then I found out I was closer to beating it than I thought. So I streamed my gameplay, my Avowed gameplays. I did continue to play some on the side on my ROG Ally. And then eventually I beat it last Friday. Beat it, got the ending. It was fun. I had a fun time with it. What can I say? What more can I say about it? I had a really fun time with that game, and I know nobody's been talking about it for a while. But definitely should check out Avowed. If you got Game Pass Ultimate or whatnot. I say Game Pass Ultimate all the time, but if you have Game Pass and you can get it, play it. It is a fun RPG. It is unique. You get to feel very powerful in the game, even though at the end I was getting a little butt whooped by some of those creatures. But once you figure out some tactics and stuff, you can kick them all off and stuff with you and your companions. And finishing the story was just, it was good. It was a good ending. It wasn't the strongest ending, but it was a good ending. And I felt at the end, I'm like, I feel done. I feel like I accomplished the game. It was a good semi-open world. I know people don't want to call it an open world game, but I call it a semi-open world game. It's open world to me. And it was a great JRPG, or not JRPG, but RPG. And I got my fill of it, and it wasn't one of those extra long ones. And I'm good. I'm good with the piece. I think it was good, and that was like one of those very few games that I beat. Like I said, when the Outer Worlds 2 comes out eventually, I think it's this year. Maybe I'll give that a crack, another crack of that franchise from Obsidian, and maybe I'll like that better than the first one, because I only liked the first one up to a point, and I dropped off of the Outer Worlds. But I loved Fallout New Vegas from them, so I'll try the Outer Worlds too, and hopefully I like that. But yeah, Avowed was one of those that just like, okay, we're creating the Avowed, we're coming out with it, and I'm like, okay. And over time, when it came out, I kept playing it, and then I haven't heard many people talking about it, about the Dream Scourge, about any of that stuff. It'll pop up time from some people out there in the podcast or media world, but not really that much. And I was always like, oh, Avowed should get more like talk time out there than it has been, because it's a really colorful, uniquely created game, and it's for people that just don't want to spend years and years on a game, on a RPG. I almost said JRPG. I think it's a perfect game for anybody out there that likes these hack and slash magical kind of adventures where you could choose to be whatever you want to be and just kick ass, take names, and just go and looting looting and shooting. And I'm happy I beat it. I beat that on Friday. And then before that, I think it was the week before that, the other week, I beat the South of Midnight. Another great game that that dropped more recently. That came out on April 8th of 2025. I got the information right here in front of me. That's why I made sure to get some information for some of these things right away. So I played the South of Midnight. It dropped on April 8th. It is at the end of April, so it took me like most of this month to play because, I'd jump in and jump out on and off of the game, which, one would do. It isn't that long of a game. South of Midnight takes for me, it took like 10-ish hours, give or take a little bit. I hear people are completing in less time than that, or depends on how you play and stuff. And it's by Compulsion Games, the people that made, what was that game called? I'm trying to think of it because I don't know if it's on here or not. They made the We Happy Few. That's what it is. And then Microsoft purchased them. I didn't like the We Happy Few, but I did like the South of Midnight. It's got the unique art system to it. It's a game that's set in a fictionalized American Deep South. It's multi-platform. You can play it on Xbox or PC and stuff like that. Action-adventure game. What else? It stars a girl, like a pre-adult girl. She's out of high school. She's about to go to college, she said. Her name is Hazel. She's living in the Deep South with her mama. They live in this like little shacky house that's like on built by the Bayou River on these stilts, on the concrete stilts and stuff. And her mom gets swept away. That's in the beginning of the game, in the house and stuff. And then she goes running to try to get her and find her. And she gets into this crazy, crazy ordeal of a game where things just happen. She meets with these weird creatures and things weird going on and stuff. And she finds out she's not who she thought she was and stuff, and who everybody else she thought who they were and stuff. And she's just going into this weird, crazy thing. And they use a little bit of like a stop motion animation for cutscenes and stuff, which, like I said, for me at least, it felt like they dumbed that down a little bit to make it more, because people didn't like the stop motion animation for the cutscenes, but I think they dumbed it down a little bit to make it more watchable for people. It's real. The fun thing for dodging and fighting creatures is pretty fun. You got these like little, like, looks like your needle and thread kind of things going on, and you're fighting creatures and just taking out their health, their like life points and stuff. Then you got this thing called a bottle tree where you get all these painful memories and you pack them all into this bottle, and once the bottle's full, you go to this bottle tree to resolve their past trauma by giving the bottle tree all the stuff that's out of the bottle as you open up the bottle and stuff. And it's really cool. It's a really good thing. You find out that your mom's late husband, or your late mother's husband, was the son of your grandmother, Bunny, which she is an estranged grandmother. She doesn't like her mother at all, and I thought she was the main villain of this game. Like, she was the bad baddie. Spoiler alert, if anybody doesn't want to listen to this, she kind of was, but wasn't, but was at the end. So she's in it a lot, and then you find out that she was doing the worst of the worst at the end. And the funny thing is, even though I like this game a lot, the ending kind of just abruptly ends in a way. There is some semi-closure to the South of Midnight, to this game, but I thought there was going to be more. But then when I got to I forgot what chapter it was. It was the final, or it said it was the final. I thought I'd be playing more, but then it basically it was like 2 seconds of gameplay, and then it went right into the end story, and then it just ended. And I was like, oh, okay, so I'm not going to be able to do any more stuff. There's this main character that you meet up with in the beginning of the game that he takes you around on your journey a little bit. His name is Catfish. He's a giant catfish, but his name is Catfish too. And you ride on Catfish sometimes, you do all that stuff. But at the end, you don't meet up with Catfish anymore. You finish up ending up talking to Catfish back at the bayou where it's like the second to the last part before the finale of the game, and that's all you talk to him about. You don't really say too many goodbyes with him or anything. You just say, hey, and then you're gone. And then you don't see him ever again. You don't go back to meet him and say, hey, what's up, Catfish? He doesn't go, oh, hello, Miss Cherie Hazel. How's it going? Nothing like that. It's just gone. He's just a character that you see, that you interact with for most of the game, where he comes back and forth, and then it's gone. And it's like, Then you, like I said, you meet up with the grandmother at the end. You find out why she was doing all this stuff, and some stuff happens, but not too much. It's all story, and then it's over. So the ending of the South of Midnight was to me kind of weak, but the gameplay was a good gameplay, and the story was capturing to me. I really liked the gameplay of it. I hope they have a sequel to the South of Midnight. I hope they plan on making another one of these, because they got something going on here. Like I said, this reminded me a lot of Evil West when I tried to play that, but I fell off Evil West because their game mechanics got a little too much for me, for my fingers and stuff, and I kind of fell off the gameplay because I was just really not really having any of it at the end of the South of or Evil West. And like I said, I fell off. I was pretty far in that game. I should have maybe tried to push harder to beat the game, but I just really was not having it with some of the boss battles and stuff. It was just getting really too egregious. And like I said, for somebody like me, I wish there was a better mechanic where I know you're going to make somewhat of a challenge out of games sometimes, but if you, like me, and I don't say I'm having a disability or anything, I just have slower fingers, so it's harder for me to quickly do those control things. That's why I was never good at Rock Band or anything. I like to play Rock Band with the guitars, but I got to always be on easy, and a lot of games I play I got to be on easy because I don't have the quickness. My fingers are not quick at all. You can hear them. I hope you can hear them in this. I don't think you can, but they're just cracking and stuff. I don't have that agility on these fingers anymore. I got the strength. Now, note, I do got the strength because I do lifting and gripping and all that. I just don't have the quickness. So a lot of games, when they want you to be super quick on triggers and stuff like that, I cannot do them, especially rhythm games and a lot of other stuff. It's just the button presses and stuff. It's harder for me to do it. I'm surprised I can do like fighting games and such, but I do have an issue where it's harder for me to be really quick when they want you to be really quick in a game, and sometimes it gets to a point where it gets too aggravating for me, and then I just jump off of it, which I will be talking about soon in this upcoming game that I'm going to be talking about that I've been playing. But yeah, South of Midnight, definitely one of those that they were talking about where I was watching and everybody else was like, I don't know about the game. And I was looking at the game at the Xbox showcase and I was like, this game's looks really interesting. And sure enough, when I played it and stuff, I'm like, damn, this is a really good, fun, interesting game. Right when I see it from the beginning, I'm like, that looks cool. That looks fun. That looks like something I'll want to at least try to play. And then I played it, and then I never stopped playing it. And like I said, I beat it. It didn't take that long to beat, and that made me happy. Now, I know I'm playing from Game Pass, but shit, if I was to buy it or I had to buy it or something, that would be a fun game to play and beat and be like satisfying for somebody like me. And I definitely highly recommend the South of Midnight. I think, like I said, the characters are all interesting and fun. I think the whole concept is fun, and I hope we get to see Hazel again, and Catfish and all that again. And hopefully, there's a South of Midnight too, because it seems like this could be a story that can continue down the road. It's just that, will they continue it down the road, or will they go to something different? I don't know. It's up to them at Compulsion Games. But it's good that it's one of those companies that's owned by Microsoft, somebody making something different instead of the same old that we get everywhere else. Sometimes you want something different, and that's definitely different. So Avowed, I talked about the South of Midnight, which I've been playing on the PC and the ROG Ally, which it ran beautifully on my ROG Ally. I had no problem playing the South of Midnight on my ROG Ally. There was such a beautiful game on there. It looked great, played great, very smooth. Avowed, yes, that looked pretty good. It was a little bit more muddy-ish on my ROG Ally because that took a lot more probably horsey power, but it played great. I played a bunch of it on there, so those were 2 great games on there. The next game, of course, Vampire Survivors. I don't have to tell you anything about it. I played it mostly on my PC and Xbox. Vampire Survivors is Vampire Survivors. Sometimes you go back to it. But I've been playing other stuff on top of of Vampire Survivors. I've been getting into more of Tetris Forever. I've been getting back into that on my Series X. And I've been playing a bunch of that. Now I've instead of just playing the Tetris parts, the games of Tetris Forever, which is also a big documentary type of a game, because there's documentary videos and photos and all sorts of stuff in the game, because it's like a celebration of Tetris and a whole history of Tetris in this game. I've been going through, first I went through chapter 1. I'm on chapter 2 now, and I've been watching the videos and looking at stuff about Tetris and the evolution of Tetris and how it came to be, where it came out. And I've been watching the documentaries of Tetris Forever, and I've been enjoying how Tetris became the biggest phenomenon the world has ever seen, and what a lot of people consider always and say is the perfect game out there. So I've been doing a lot of that now instead of Vampire Survivors, because, like I said, you just can watch movies and have some fun with that. And I've been having a lot of fun with Tetris because I like Tetris. I'm not the best at Tetris. I like playing Tetris a lot, and playing different forms of Tetris. It's fun, and Tetris Forever is great for any Tetris fans out there that want to play it. That's all I got to say on that. So, been playing a lot of Tetris Forever on my Series X because it's not a game that is cross-play anywhere. So, if I wanted to get it on my ROG Ally and stuff, I'd have to buy it on Steam and stuff, which they did have on sale, but I just didn't get it because I already own it on the Xbox. And it's one of those games that I'm like, hey, gotta turn on the Xbox for. So I make it just that kind of a game. Let's see here. Let's get into the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion, which just got shadow dropped last week before another game got dropped, because it was a week of dropped games last week, and that was a surprise game. They made an announcement on Tuesday. They dropped it on Tuesday. I didn't play it until Wednesday. Wednesday did I play? I think I played it Wednesday. I played it the day after it came out because I was like, I got no time. So I did many videos last week, folks. If you go to OldFreakyGamer.com, a lot of videos did come out on OldFreakyGamer.com a little later than I would have, because I've been posting them. I've been editing them, posting them on YouTube. I let them be available on YouTube first, and then eventually I did my posts on OldFreakyGamer.com, which a little bit later, but still I put them to the site. But wanted to let you guys know that it was a lot. It was a lot of content that I was putting out this week, so a lot more than I'm usually used to for a while. And when you got a job and you got other things going on around the house and the weather's getting nicer out, sometimes you just don't have the time to be putting out all that content right away. But responsibilities, folks, responsibilities. Yeah, Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion. I did a first gameplay of it. I played a little bit of it and showed it off to you guys on how it looked. All I did was create my character, which I created very quickly. It turned out just fine. I think she wasn't an evil elf. I think it was a regular elf. Or it could have been an evil dark elf. Could have been a dark elf. My dark elf lady, in a hooded costume and stuff. Fine. That's all I wanted to do. Made my character, went through the catacombs, took Patrick Stewart, the king, Sir Patrick Stewart. Is he Sir or is he just Patrick Stewart? I forgot if he's Sir Patrick Stewart or something, or is that just Ian McKellen was Sir Ian McKellen. I forgot if Patrick Stewart became a Sir or not. He might have. I don't know. I'll have to look that up. So forgive me, Patrick Stewart, if you're a Sir already or not. I forget. I thought somebody said he was a Sir. I'm not going to look it up now, though. But Patrick Stewart, I think he reprised his role in this. I think, because they said a lot of people did some new voice work for this game. And when I was listening to Patrick Stewart's voice, I'm like, he sounds older. And I don't mean just because he's old in the game as the king. It sounds like his voice is older, like he re-recorded his lines. And I think he did. I think they got Patrick Stewart back in the VO booth. And I think he did either new lines or he re-spoke his lines, because it actually sounds like the current Patrick Stewart. Because before, Patrick Stewart was sounding a lot younger, back when he was talking about stuff in the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion. And the game looks great. It is a bit glitchy still. It is a bit glitchy. It's made probably, I think they farmed it out to a third party instead of Bethesda creating it. It was like a third party studio that helped remastered it in a way. It's on Unreal 5 engine. It's on the Unreal 5 engine this time. And but still, it's still glitchy. It's got some jank in it and stuff. It looks to be very fun. Like I said, I just played a bit of it to just check it out. Got out of the catacombs into the world. The fighting seems good. The jumping, everything that you know about Elder Scrolls games or Skyrim, it's got in there, and it's got it really good. The map looks it looks oldish to me. I don't know. It's one of those original looking-ish maps, but it's an Elder Scrolls game. What more can I say? I haven't done any quests or anything. I am actually opted to hold off on playing this game. Now, for many reasons. First reason, I want them to fix a lot of the bugs. I hear, and I will talk about this in the news story, that there is a bug in the game that is causing saves to get moved around a bit. So your game saves. They're not gone. They're not lost or anything. They're just moved around a bit. And that's causing some issues for the game, I guess. And I wanted to, make sure to let everybody know. And I'll talk more about that in the game's news section. But there is some issues with game saves going now. And I don't know if there's any other issues out there. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of Oblivion bugs that people are going to be talking about or showing off. But a lot of people seem to be very, 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 very happy about this shadow drop of the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion. It's sold a lot of copies. A lot of people have been playing this game in droves. They said 4 million plus players actively in it. I'm guessing that's pretty big for Microsoft and Bethesda. I think that's pretty good. Microsoft's got something going on. I like it when Microsoft does these shadow drop games, even though people have been talking about it early and people have been rumoring and talking about how they were doing it. So it's got pre-spoiled a little bit, but you don't know until they say it directly. And then when they dropped it, people were like, oh, God, everybody went crazy. And I'm like, well, this is a great game. When I played this back on the 360, when this came out for the 360, and I'm like, okay, I want to see what this looks like now. And it does look a lot better. It looks a lot more colorful. I know some people are like, oh, it's not like the original. I'm okay, whatever. They did different color schemes and stuff because it's on the Unreal 5 engine. It's got a different look and semi-feel, but it's still Oblivion. It's still the game. I know they did a lot of different stuff to it, but they made it better. They made it more modern, which is great. I like that. I hope they, like a lot of other people, I hope they do that with more games, especially Fallout. Like Fallout 3, I heard people say that they would love for them to remaster next, and Fallout New Vegas, stuff like that. And I'm like, I'm with you guys. I would love it. A lot of people wanted the original Elder Scrolls games to be remastered as well, which would be interesting because I never played those. I did play a lot of Oblivion when this came out on the 360 at first. I did play a lot of, like I said, I beat Skyrim, which I was surprised. Another reason, and that's the other reason going forward, talking about why I'm going to wait to play the Elder Scrolls Oblivion, not just because I want to see it patched a little bit. And I know they're not supporting official mods for this, but I'm hoping to see I want to see some mods on this like I did for Skyrim and Starfield, where I can do godlike mode, because you can still make yourself a godlike in this, but you lose your achievements and all that. And because I want to play this where I can be making much, and I know, like I said, people probably shun me for this. I want to make it easier where I'm in godlike mode and I can get some extra gold and I can do some extra stuff in the beginning of the game. I hope there's a mod that'll eventually let me do that stuff so I can get more powerful, I can get more money, I can go into God mode and not lose my achievements going forward, but I can play the game and enjoy the game more, because first off, I'm not going to have time to play this very giant game. Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion is a giant game. If you got time for it, or if this is the only games that you play, have fun, have at it. I'm not going to tell you how to play it. But for me in general, I'm trying to wait till they come out with the mods where it'll let me keep my achievements going forward and stuff, and then I can go into God mode, I can play it. I downloaded it to my ROG Ally. I didn't play it on my ROG Ally yet. I'm going to try it on my ROG Ally to see how well the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion works on my ROG Ally. I heard, like I said, with the save issues and stuff, that was mostly Steam people having some Steam issues with the game. I don't know about the Xbox side. So far, I think it works still on my PC here. I could just boot it up. I bet you my game save still works. I haven't played it again yet, but very, very interested in playing this. I want to play this, but like I said, I got other games out there right now that I want to play. I just wanted to try it out, do a first gameplay of it, and it looks great. It looks great. It looks like it's going to be a lot of fun for people that want to play this game, and I'm not going to stop them, because why not? It's the Elder Scrolls. It's fun RPG, and people are going to have a blast playing this. And it's going to be all in Unreal Engine 5, and it's going to be in everything looks better, sounds better. What more can you want? And like I said, maybe there'll be some less bugs if they patch out some bugs, and maybe we'll get some mods and people will want to do some modding. There's already some mods for it, but a lot of people are making like decoration mods and stuff like that, and people wanted to make character mods, stuff like that. Me, like I said, if I want a mod where it'll not disable achievements and I can go into God mode, all that basic stuff, and I'll be happy with that. But I'm going to hold off. I'm hoping this will be a game, because like I said, I've got to try it on my ROG Ally eventually, but I hope this is one of those games like Skyrim, because I played Skyrim on my ROG Ally. I hope this is another game I can play on my ROG Ally and just keep playing it for a long time, and just one of those savvy extra games. But hey, we got Oblivion, everybody. You can play the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion now. Get Game Pass. You can play it on the PS5 as well. And it's probably less janky, and it probably works better than the PS3 version, because the PS3 version was broken, right? This one isn't as broken, right? So everybody gets to play that on their PS5. So Sony PlayStation fans get to have fun in the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion as well. The other game that I've been playing on and off that I like playing, that I've been liking playing, is GTA 5. And I've been playing it on my ROG Ally. It runs very smoothly. It runs very well. And why not? It's on Game Pass. I could get new achievements for it. And until Rockstar and Take-Two announce GTA 6's release date and when it's coming out and all that and stuff like that, I'll play some GTA 5 then, on my ROG Ally. That's what I always wanted to do, is play Grand Theft Auto games either on my PC or portable. And it took forever, but it finally came. And we finally could play Grand Theft Auto 5 on the PC, get achievements and stuff for it, play on my ROG Ally. On the go, I play it on a portable version. It's just like GTA 3, Vice City, and San Andreas, when those got remastered in a way that most people were pissed off about, but they got remastered, ported to stuff, and you could play them on anything. This is the same way, and I'm super happy that I'm able to play it. It's on Game Pass. I might buy it because it's really cheap. It's like, what, $24, $25 if you're a Game Pass Ultimate subscriber. It might even go cheaper than that before GTA 6 comes out. So I'll be on the lookout for that. And even if I'm not going to play online, I'm not playing online with it. And I'm only going to play it on my ROG Ally because I don't want to put it on my PC, even though it'd probably look a lot better because they got the GTA 5 Enhanced Edition, which is supposed to be like higher resolution and all that. I don't want all that extra crap that they put in there. They put all that low-level crap in there, all that cheat game spy and cheat shit in the game. I don't want that shit on my computer, running in the low level on my computer. ROG Ally, that's only a gaming machine. That doesn't have my personal stuff on it. It's not a super expensive device. If it craps out something, I can easily just reboot it and put a fresh copy of Windows 11 on that. On this main PC, I do my videos, editing, paperwork, everything. So I will not put that crap on there. And it does have a lot of that crap. And then you got to log in and link your Rockstar account to your Xbox account. So it took a lot of just signing up back up to Rockstar again, to my Rockstar account, which I had one, but I forgot. Had to get a new password, do that, get all that Game Spy crap on there, do all that other bullshit, and then now I can finally play GTA 5 on my ROG Ally. Oh, a lot of shit, a lot of stupid shit just to play on my ROG Ally. Because they think I'm going to play online with it. No, I'm not. I only played online with it on my Xbox, and that's way back on Xbox One days. I didn't even download the GTA Online. Well, it has GTA Online, but I didn't download GTA Online on this. So that's the major problem about GTA 5, playing it on your PC or ROG Ally or something, because they want all that spy crap on there, and it's like, ew. Or I should say anti-spy stuff, but what do we know? They probably spying on you. But that's been out on Game Pass. And you know what? Why not? I'll play it until I can't play it anymore. Or if I do decide to buy it down the road, I'll buy GTA 5 for my ROG Ally, because I like playing GTA 5. I think it's a fun game. Fun stories, fun missions, stuff. And until GTA 6 comes out and then I play that on my Xbox Series X, why not? Play GTA on the go. In my hands. Eventually, I'll be being able to play it on my pet. I can't even speak. I'm just tripping over my words, folks. Eventually, I'll be able to play GTA 5 and all these games on my deck porch when my awning goes up this month in May. In May, because I forget when. If it's at the end of May or the middle of May, I don't know if it's the beginning of May. I think maybe the end of May. I don't know. I could be wrong, but my deck porch awning should be going up from the company. I got the company that made my deck porch awning. They actually put it up and take it down for a price, and there's some extra features to that. So I pay them to put it up, take it down, stuff like that every year, and better for me, easier for me. And once that goes up and I can clean off my deck, porch and stuff, and clean my outdoor patio furniture and stuff, then I'm going to sit out there again this spring and summer, enjoy the hot summer and spring and summer, have my drapes and stuff down there, and then I'll be able to play my games like GTA 5 and stuff on there. So that'll be fun. So I've been playing a bunch of GTA 5, getting back into it, getting back into the stories, the heinous stories of Michael and stuff, and a little bit of what's his name? Is it Marcus? No, because you got Trevor, you got Michael, Lamar. What's his name? Holy shit! I forgot what excuse me for saying the black guy's name. Shoot, see, that's why I never liked him. I thought he was the weakest character of all of them. Shit. What's his name? Oh my god. I feel really stupid now. Oh, I feel really stupid. Okay, folks, magic of pausing a podcast. Yeah, the character was Franklin. Oh boy. Yes, Franklin, which I thought his storyline was the weakest of all three of the characters of Grand Theft Auto 5. I know a lot of people might say differently on that. I thought he was. I thought he was the weakest of the characters, and I didn't really care for Franklin. Thought he could be better. He was no CJ at all. Bit dumber and stuff, but could have been better with him. But yeah, it was Franklin. But fun game. Can't wait to play it outside, wherever. It's a fun little pick up, play, turn off type of game. And then the last game that I've been playing for not too long, I did a first gameplay of it last week on Thursday when it dropped. And I always just call it Expedition 33, but it's technically Clair Obscur Expedition 33. Now, I don't know if... Now, don't get on me for this, but is Clair Obscur like the writer of this game or something, or is it just the weird name? Is there something about that? Am I just being extra? I'm probably being just extra stupid. I'm going to admit I'm being extra stupid here, but I call it Expedition 33, but it's really Clair Obscur Expedition 33. It's not Japanese JRPG, but it's an RPG. We'll call it a French RPG. It's a very, very French RPG of the game. And basically, it is a game, and do I have this up here? No, I do not. I didn't put that on there. I thought I did have it there. I must have deleted it. I'm dumb because I must have deleted it on there. But let's see here. I'm gonna put it up again because I knew I had some stuff on here for it. So it is a dark fantasy RPG game set in Belle Epoque, world which released last week Thursday. It's already sold a lot of copies. A lot of people are playing. It's a role-playing RPG, but it is turn-based too, because you're taking turns. And there's real-time actions, stuff like that. Let's see here. I'm trying to get the thing here. I'm trying to get some stuff here. Excuse me, folks. Here. Maybe this will get me maybe this will set me up here. So, okay, the main two characters that I've been playing with, or using in Clair Obscur's Expedition 33 of this very French game. It looks amazing. Let's just get that out of the way. It looks amazing. It sounds amazing. This game looks it plays beautifully. It plays beautifully on my PC. I tried it on my ROG Ally. It plays good on that as well. Except for the one thing, which I kind of deleted it off my ROG Ally. I might put it back on my ROG Ally, but I think I might not. I think I might be done with this game. I don't know yet. This is the Mr. Mike's cranky gamer kind of thing here. I think I might not get too far in this game. First off, this game is what did they say? This could be like a 30+ hour game. It's supposed to be semi-long for a game. I don't know. I forgot what they said on here. There's a lot to it. Now, the last turn-based, or they'll say differently because it's Final Fantasy 13. When I played that, compare that to the Yakuza or Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth, we'll just say the recent one. Compare it to that JRPG. Compare that to the Final Fantasy 13 that I played. Compare that to Persona 5 Royale that I played. And now we're going into this, Expedition 33. I'm just going to say Expedition 33, so excuse me. The differences in playing each of those games is what devices they use to battle, what stuff you have to, help your characters level up, do whatever, and how you use your inventory, how to do this, what you can do, what you can't do, how their health systems are and stuff. And this one seems to me, at least, it seems like it's going to be more of a challenge for me. Even though I'm playing on the lowest difficulty story mode setting of this, I'm still having some issues with this game. A lot of issues. A lot more than I might want to not continue to play the game of. And that's just me. And I'm not saying for anybody else out there to drop the game, because I hear a lot of people are liking this game or loving this game. And great, because it looks like a great game. When I first started playing this, especially for the first gameplay, you guys all probably, if you watch me, you would see that it doesn't really give you any good backstory for your main character at all, or characters, I should say, because first it's your main character, then you get your another party character, and it doesn't really go into much. You're walking down the streets, you're doing some stuff. It's really boring. It looks great. Everything looks amazing. The people, everything, the whole setup and all that. But it's really boring. Then it's the whole time when the witch comes and does her thing where she paints the number 33 on the tree, and all the people that are age 33 go and poof into dust, just like they would do in Avengers Doomsday and stuff like that, back when Thanos did the snap and snapped out half the galaxy's living beings and stuff. So that's basically what this is on a more extreme level, because this witch is just killing off people at the ages of 100, and they went, I think they said she started off at 100 and then just kept going down with the numbers. So I'm like, oh, so she's just killing off people at the ages. And I'm thinking, well, if I was like 32, but I was turning 33 after she put the number 33 down, would I still survive? Would I be a character that would survive? Because then she'd be going to 32, but I'd be going to 33. I'd be aging up to 33 at the time. Or do I go poof because I turned 33 when she has 33 on the tree? You know what I mean? There's some contradictions there to it, and I'm not understanding it too much. There's a lot of things, like Gustav. He is the main character you start off with. No backstory, nothing. Seems like a very plain person character. I just don't like him. I do not like him at all. When we meet up a little bit later in the story, in the game, and we get our second party character, Loon, which she's pretty hot, I'm going to say. She's barefoot. She's like a hippie. She's like a magical hippie lady. She's a magic lady, Loon. But she's pretty hot. I gotta say, she's very, very hot. I think she's Asian. I think she's played by an Asian woman. Christy Ryder is the English voice actor. Luna, they say Luna is the daughter of prominent researchers and is the pathfinder for the expedition and acts as the archetypal spellcaster of the party and has potent capacity for elemental magic and enhances as she gains strains in combat. So, and Gustav here, we'll say what his is. He's the primary protagonist of the game, is a proficient engineer tormented by the Paintress, and relies on the building of overcharge with his sword and pistol to deal with devastating damage. Like I said, to me, he's very boring. I don't like him. I like Loon, not just because she's hot, not because she's a barefoot hippie magical woman, but she seems interesting. She's got that gothic, like an Asian French gothic thing going on with her, because she's done by like an Asian voice thing, but she's got that gothic woman darkness, badassery type of thing. Plus, instead of running fast wherever they gotta go, she can glide to wherever she wants to go. That really makes a lot of difference. I like her. I didn't get up to the other people like Malay or anybody like that. There's other characters here. I'm seeing all these other characters. I haven't gotten up to any of them yet at all. But there's a bunch of other characters that you can have in your party. Those are the only two I got up to. I've been trying to push, like today, just before I did this podcast, I played a bit more of it just to push through the game a little bit more to see, is it just me or no? Because I was having a harder time playing my Rogue Ally. The main thing I'm having a hard time with is the parrying of the system, where when the baddies come and they do their move sets on you, like they're going to do a slash or a hit or whatever, I have bad timing. I admit it. I have bad timing. I try to get better, but I ultimately have bad timing. I either click too fast, click early, because I'm trying to realize when the thing is, and I can never do it. I can never get it right 100% of the time, and it's a pain in my butt. And then also, I think the game doesn't register sometimes my clicks because you're supposed to hit the RB button, like on an Xbox controller, or if it's a Rogue Ally, it's the RB on the top there. You got to hit the block button on there to do the parry. So when you parry at the right time at that moment, you can hit the attack back at the enemies and ultimately take them down. I was having the worst time doing that, and it makes my gameplay a lot more miserable to me when I'm trying to play this game. Plus the fact that I haven't been able to find ways to heal myself or my characters easily yet. I don't know if that changes down the road, but I did have like 1 or 2 health potions and I had to use them already. And apparently, even though you can go to your camp to rest up, and I get out of the camp, at least I don't know if I got out of the camp yet. I think I'm still in the camp, so I got to find out. But otherwise, if I'm saving or doing other things, or if I'm out of battle, I can't figure out a way to heal my characters. Like, I got a healing abilities now. I got those. But I don't know how I'm able to get healed up outside of battles, because I'm still lower on my health scales with my characters. And going forward, if I'm going to battle more destructive creatures and such, which seem like most of them are metal-like characters or weird stone-like characters and stuff, I don't know how I'm going to do that when they get more deadly and powerful. Now, note, as of right now, they're a bit easier for me, so they do like certain move sets to try to take you out, and it's been the same baddies to start off with, but it's just been a real struggle for me from the beginning to do the stuff. And I try to learn it. I try to learn all the stuff. It just seems very out of my element, I should say, out of my elements to try to figure everything out so far. And they give you so little at the start. It feels like I am like somewhat not drowning, but almost ready to drown in the game. And like I said, with the whole game, I understand it's the whole mission is to try to get to this paintress witch and kill her ass so she doesn't write a new number on the tree and kill off more people and keep doing it until nobody's left or whatnot. But ultimately, and it looks like, because I looked at the map sort of, because you could bring up the map and you could see the whole thing. It looks gigantic. It looks like it's going to take a long time. And I feel like with Oblivion and all these other games coming out and stuff, I don't think I want to continue to play this game. Even though that's kind of a little heartbreaking for me because it does look like a very good game and I'm hoping people are having fun with it. I'm not happy with it because I have to do the parry system and all that, and I can't just do something else to block and whatnot. I have leveled up my characters a little bit so far, and I've been putting points into stuff that I figure will help me on my journey, like, health, the parry blocking, and of course, might and magic, which makes it better for me to hit better and kill better, hit points, stuff like that to damage the characters better and stuff like that. I put very few in luck. And what was the other one? I forgot there was another one, but it might have been magic or something too. But I've been doing that. I still have it on my PC here. Like I said, I just played this game. I just stopped playing this game to get on to doing the podcast. But I'm wondering how much longer I want to continue on in this game because there's so many other games coming out. Next month, which is soon to be this month, probably at the end, when is it? Like that end of this week. You hear and see this podcast on the 28th, which is Monday, this Monday, tomorrow, because I'm recording this on Sunday today. The first is this Thursday of May. And when does the Dark Ages come out again? Doom the Dark Ages. Doom the Dark Ages. Release it. That is May 15th. So that is only 3 weeks away. If I'm starting now on Sunday, that's less than 3 weeks away. That's on Thursday when Doom the Dark Ages comes out in May. So I am really thinking that I am not going to be playing much more of this game going forward. And I might ultimately drop off of Expedition 33 or Clair Obscur Expedition 33. And it saddens me a bit, but here's the notion. I'm not good at all the games. Nobody's good at all the games. 2, we can't play all the games. I definitely can't play all the games. I can play little bits of certain games, but I can't play all the games. I still got a lot of games in my backlog. We got these new games like Doom the Dark Ages that I want to play coming out because it's been a while since I played Doom because I didn't play the second Doom. I played Doom 2016. I didn't play Doom Eternal because that was a bunch of platforming bullshit and a lot of people didn't like a lot of stuff in it. So I stayed away from it. But this one looks to be really badass and cool. So that's going to be my next game. So plus there's another game I'm going to be playing starting this Friday, which I'm going to be playing on GameOn. So I'll be talking about that in a second, a little bit. So I think I might be dropping off of this, especially when I'm going to get back into games like, what are the games? I got to look at all my lists here of all the games that I'm going to be going back to. Like Ninja Gaiden 2 Black. I want to get back into, I already said Doom the Dark Ages. I want to get back into Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. Maybe I'll try some more Call of Duty. I got to get through more of that story. I want to just at least get through the story of Call of Duty, Black Ops 6. I don't want to do any online or anything. I just want to play the story and beat the game story. You know what I mean? But that's something I don't have to worry about getting back to. But I really want to get back into Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. Plus, I got this other game, the secret game that I will mention in a second. that I will be playing. So there's no room. And plus, I've been playing a lot of RPGs and JRPGs, and I think maybe I'm just open world RPG'd out. Even though I'm playing Grand Theft Auto 5, but that's an on and off thing. That's something that nobody has to worry about. Plus, it's not an RPG. So I hate to say it, folks. I think Expedition 33 or Clair Obscur Expedition 33 is a miss on my side. Like I said, I'm not going to delete it, though. I'm going to keep it on my system here. I'm not going to delete it on my main system here. Because if I do decide to get, like I said, I played a bunch today. I got a little farther into the game. But if I do fall off of it, I fall off of it. But I will keep trying to get back into a little bit here and there. But like I said, if I fall off of it, I'm not gonna get too upset about it. But it looks like a fun, great game. It looks very beautiful. The game is very beautiful. I'm just not into the story yet too much. I know what we got to do. I know what the story is going. I just don't like the main protagonist. I say character, I'll say protagonist. And Luna's better than Gustav. What can I say? Which is great that you can change between them. You don't have to stick with Gustav. I basically am playing with Loon, but he's in my party, so I got to play with him. And he's the main protagonist of the story, so obviously. But it's just, it seems too much for me right now. I don't know. And it happens. It happens to everybody that's a gamer out there. If you're playing games, there's just so much to do, so much to play. It's just impossible to get them all and play them all that stuff. So it's not like I said, it's not a big deal if I drop off this game. If you're into it, if it's one of those games that you do want to play and you don't care about all the other games like Doom Eternal, all the other stuff that came out like Oblivion and stuff, and you wanted to stick with stuff like this, then go for it, But for me right now, it's very hard for me to want to continue, even though I've been doing a little bit of it, and like I said, it looks cool. You even go into this like little tabletop mode where you're like running across the land in this like above view eventually, but then you get back into your main third person view, but then you go up to this like height view and stuff. It's pretty cool what they're doing with Expedition 33 or Clair Obscur's Expedition 33, but I'm just not getting invested enough into it. Like I said, I'll keep trying. If not, and I fall off of it, I fall off of it. So, I forgot to look at the other stuff I wanted to talk about before the game's news, but I want to get into the game's news soon because I got other stuff going on today and I got too much stuff. So, those were the games that I played in these past weeks. So we can say that's closed. A lot of games, a lot of new games. Microsoft's been getting a lot of new games for the Game Pass, folks, because you got Elder Scrolls on Game Pass, you got GTA on Game Pass, you got Clair Obscur's Expedition 33 on Game Pass, you got Avowed, which I played, South of Midnight came out on Game Pass, a bit ago. All these games, Microsoft's just getting the drops after drop after drop. And if you, like I said, if you get Game Pass or Game Pass Ultimate like me, because if you want to play on your Xbox and PC, ROG Ally or whatever, which you can play on all those devices and more for $21 and whatever tax, whatever the tax is and stuff, to me, that's worth it per month instead of spending $60, $70, whatever on these games. I'm paying $21 and I get all these games. Game Pass for me saves me a shit ton of money compared to spending, is this game going to be right for me? I got to spend $60, $70 on this game, $70 on that game. In a world where money is tighter, it's beautiful to have Game Pass. And I know this sounds like a commercial for Game Pass and Game Pass Ultimate, but for me, it just saves me a bunch of money and time. And another reason why I don't get not in a hurry to get a Switch 2 anytime soon, because I got all these games to play here on Xbox and PC and stuff. So it's crazy. It's crazy. And I'm sure there'll be another summer Steam sale coming up too, and that'll be crazy. I got too many Steam games and stuff because I got a whole list of Steam games I want to play. Whew. So much. So there's an Xbox game showcase and Summer Game Fest coming up soon. in a month and so days. Which is funny because theirs happening before I go on my vacation, because I'm taking my June vacation, and that's starts usually like the 14th of June, a little bit before, because then you got the Saturday. And before, all this stuff used to happen around there. It used to happen on like the 14th and 15th, 16th. You know, they used to have like the E3 used to happen there. Now they're doing it like during the beginning of June now, apparently, which the Xbox Game Showcase and stuff is happening early in June. And do I have this on here? Hold on, folks. I'm trying to switch between notes here. So, okay. Xbox's next major game showcase streams in June. This was just announced that Xbox Game Showcase live stream, which will take place on June 8th at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. So June 8th, that is Sunday. That's going to be a Sunday. So if you people are wondering, that's on Sunday, which is great because I'm not working Sunday, but it's going to be a hell of a day at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. The company states the event will include a look at upcoming titles from across our first-party studios, in addition to incredible new titles from our third-party partners across the globe, and probably stuff like the Xbox ROG Ally and stuff like that, of course. And then after the Xbox Game Showcase ends, they are going to start streaming right after that the Outer Worlds 2 showcase, focused up, stream will be focused entirely of the Outer Worlds 2, which they're going to show off during that time, and then it's going to be launching later this year. So we're going to be watching that. I'm going to do my whole video recording and podcast on that. So that's going to be interesting when I do a video podcast on that stuff, on that. And that's a week before my vacation. So, and then the Xbox Game Showcase is one of several events filling up the gap left by E3's demise. It will be preceded by the now annual Summer Game Fest on June 6th. So June 6th is Friday, right? It's, Friday. So it starts on Friday for this the summer, and that's Jeff Keighley's, if you know who I'm talking about. He does the Game Awards and stuff. That's his thing now, the Summer Game Fest. That's June 6th. So the 6th, the 7th, Microsoft on the 8th. I don't know what's going to go on the 9th or the 10th, because usually they have stuff going on during the week as well. With that, they haven't announced anything yet, or Keighley hasn't announced anything yet on when, if like Ubisoft's going to do something this year or whoever else. I don't think Sony's going to do anything, because what does Sony have? Sony doesn't have anything. What does Sony have to show and offer? Probably nothing. Nintendo, well, they do their own thing, but you never know. They might do something during my vacation week or down the road. It depends on when they want to show, because during that week also, June 5th, is when the Switch 2s get sold. That's when people get the Switch 2s in their hands. So there's going to be a lot of Switch stuff going on during that week too, the week before my vacation. So a lot of stuff dropping, a lot of stuff happening. So, that's going to be crazy. It's going to be a crazy week. I really hope that that it doesn't get too crazy, because I will try to do as many things. I'll try to do a podcast for Ubisoft or whoever big that I find interesting does a interesting games showcase or anything for. But mostly it's Microsoft, which I'm glad we're going to still see Xbox Game Showcase. It's a little earlier than usual, but that's good, because that means on my vacation I'll actually take a vacation. At least a stay-home vacation, but it'll be a nice vacation at home. I do got things that I want to do and plan. Hopefully I'm not trying to do any work around the house or anything. Then I want to try to get that all done in May, at least most of this stuff done in May, before June comes around the corner. If I could get most of my house space stuff done in May and not have to worry about it in June, that'll be great, because then I can just relax for for once in my lifetime. I haven't really did a real relaxing vacay. Like last year, I didn't even really take a vacay. I took like a couple days extra off, and that was it. So this time I'll get an actual vacation, paid and all. Definitely going to get one of those massages if that place is still open. Yeah, I'm interested in what Microsoft's Xbox has to show and all the third parties and stuff. And I'm hoping I'm pretty sure, but I'm still hoping because you never know, because Asus might do it separately. But I'm pretty sure it'll be at the Xbox Showcase, Game Showcase. I hope they show off the Xbox Asus ROG Ally, whatever it's going to be called. And hopefully it'll be really cool. Hopefully they'll have some special stuff with that, special sauce with that. Hopefully we see some interesting new stuff and other stuff coming and whatnot. And Xbox brings their A games again. I'm really interested in what's going to go on for that. And I'm really interested to see what the Outer Worlds 2 is going to be like. I'm hoping for them to continue on with that flavor, but I'm hoping they make it so that people like me don't just fall off of it like we did with the first Outer Worlds. Because, like I said, I played a ton of the first Outer Worlds, and then I just fell off of it because it got really sticky in the middle, and then I got really divested in it, and other games came out, and then I was just like, I don't really want to play this anymore. And I got lost. I couldn't figure out what to do a lot of times, and I just like, I'm done. And it happens, and it isn't just me. A lot of prominent gamers out there, a lot of prominent game reviewers and people that talk about video games for a living said the same thing, that they fell off of the Outer Worlds on that. Even though it was cool in the beginning, it got kind of lame in the afternoon of it. So, yeah, a lot of questions. And there's going to be a lot of answers. And I wrote here, what did I write here? Games played in the past weeks. Xbox Games Showcase and the Summer Game Fest questions. Why did I put questions? I don't know why I put that. I'm going to take that off my show notes here. And the Summer Game Fest. Okay. I put questions. I don't have no questions for it. All I got is answers. So yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about that. Before we get into the game's news talk, which we're going to get into it now. So that's what we're going to do next, folks, the Gamez Talk Newz. So, because I don't have any more questions or answers to give, because we don't know what's going to happen, frankly, in the June timeframe when, it used to be E3 time and now it's GameFest and all that stuff. It's interesting. It's going to be interesting. I'm interested in what Xbox has to show. For that. And yeah, so we'll get into some more stuff in a bit with the Gamez Talk Newz next.
Locked and loaded, ready for the fight. Game Talk Newz, gonna set the stage alight. Mr. Mike's got the scoop, he ain't holding back. Dropping bombs on the gaming industry track. Hear the thunder, feel the roar. From E3 to PAX, they got it all. The highs and lows, ready to brawl.
Okay, there we go. The Gamez Talk Newz section, and the one major Game Talk Newz I'm going to bring out to you guys is, which I almost forgot because I got so much stuff going on in my mind. That's why sometimes I'm talking so much, or talking so fast, whatever. I always forget some little or major news to talk about. So the game that I'm going to be streaming going forward for a little bit this Friday and continuing Fridays, depending on if anything else comes out or whatever. I'm going to be playing Lollipop Chainsaw Repop, which I purchased not too long ago because it was on sale on Game Pass, or not on Game Pass, on the Xbox store. And I wanted to get back playing Juliet and doing some raunchy zombie slaying craziness in the game, and I said, hey, why not play that game? I bought it, might as well play that. I said, yeah, this would be a good game to go do some streaming on the Friday nights, so why not? So this upcoming Friday will be Game On with Lollipop Chainsaw Repop, if you guys are interested in it. And see what I do when I go, yoo-hoo, hoo-hoo, ha-ha, as she has her boyfriend kissing her ass, literally, through the most of the game, as she kills zombies with her bubblicious attitude. So that's what I wanted to say. Lollipop Chainsaw, my Game On live session for Fridays going forward, at least till Doom the Dark Ages comes out or whatever else. I also got other games that I might want to start streaming too, so, you know, there might be other games. Who knows if I actually stream Doom the Dark Ages going forward? I might just play that as a personal game. I'll, like, play it once on a stream and then want to do some other stuff for it. But, because I got other games that I maybe want to play and stream, like that RoboCop game, which I hear is very good, and I saw it and I bought it because everybody's talking about it. There's that Life is Strange, not True Colors, that Life is Strange Double Exposure. I have that game. I got a bunch of other games on my Steam library. I got this Command & Conquer stuff that I want to do eventually when I want to play Command & Conquer games. A lot of stuff, a lot of games. Anyways, talking about Xbox and updates and stuff, there was a recent Xbox update on the mobile app, so you can finally purchase games through your Xbox mobile app or stream your own games, which comes to console. So they took the weird thing is, though, they said they took the streaming part on your mobile app. I guess the mobile app had a thing where you can stream your games to the mobile app via the mobile app, and they took that out, I guess, for the time being. I don't know. Why they did that. Maybe there was some conflict of interest. I don't know. So remote play is being removed from the Xbox app, and players will instead have to access remote play through the Xbox.com remote play on any device that has a web browser. I think maybe it's because of something with the Google and Apple stores. I don't know, because that's kind of weird because they let you buy the game. There might have been some contradictory stuff. That's what I'm guessing. Well, the Xbox mobile app used to allow this functionality years ago of allowing you to purchase games on the mobile app. It is coming back now with a beta before expanding to all users on Android and iOS. I already have it. I can already purchase games. I know I got it on my phone because I was looking at I use my Xbox app all the time religiously for the rewards and stuff because I get the reward points and stuff, and I like to check my achievements, and I noticed that it was on there, so I can purchase definitely my Xbox games if I want to through the mobile app, and you could subscribe to Game Pass as well through the Xbox mobile app. So there you go, guys. Also, meanwhile, the stream your own game Xbox cloud gaming feature is coming to Xbox consoles. While the ability for players to stream the Xbox games they buy was promised for years, it finally arrived last November with an initial batch of 50 games, including Baldur's Gate 3 and Warhammer 40,000 and Space Marine 2. Stream your own game was initially limited to Amazon Fire TV sticks and MetaQuest VR headsets, web browsers via Xbox.com/play and Samsung Smart TVs, but I guess an update is rolling out, which brings this feature to the Xbox Series X and S and Xbox One consoles, allowing players to subscribe to Xbox Game Pass Ultimate to stream some of the games they've bought on those devices as well. So on your consoles, finally, if you wanted to. If you just don't get Game Pass or purchase games on those machines right away and just download them and play them on your machines, because why wouldn't you want to do that? I don't know. Microsoft is currently planning to bring a stream your own game to Xbox PC to the Xbox PC app at some point later in 2025. More and more games are regularly being added to the stream your own game library, including Assassin's Creed Shadows and The Thing Remastered. So when they do eventually have stream your own game to the Xbox PC app, then if I wanted to play Assassin's Creed Shadows on my ROG Ally, that would be interesting to play. I don't know how well that would be working, but that'd be interesting. Or, better yet, if that new Xbox ROG Ally can play Xbox games or whatnot, then I could just play them legitly and get, a game like Assassin's Creed Shadows and play it directly on my ROG Ally, because that's what I want to do, is play some Assassin's Creed Shadows, but I want to be able to play them on my PC and ROG Ally. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, people? So, a lot of stuff for that if you want to purchase your games on your on your phone, which you should have been able to do all the time, but because people, greed, stuff like that, and mainly Google and Apple with the restrictions on their stores, wanted some of that extra ching-a-ching-a-ching, because they're like, no, we don't want you to sell this stuff via your app and not us get a portion of those profits. So if you don't give us your a 30% or whatever share on that, we're not going to let you do that stuff. And it was a whole stupid kabobble thing. They never used to do it before, and then they started doing it, and it's like, come on, people, you guys make bunches of buckets of money, and you want more money for this stuff? I know it's businesses, but sometimes that stuff just really raunchy and irks me a bit. You know what I mean? You know what doesn't irk people? Free stuff. Or is it maybe free stuff? I don't know if you have to pay for any of this stuff, but for you PlayStation people, because I got some great news for you guys, finally, for your PS5s. So I guess already happened, according to this news story. Classic console themes return to the PlayStation 5, which already started. So Sony is bringing back its popular 30th anniversary classic console themes for the PlayStation 5 after removing them earlier this year, which why wouldn't you just keep them there? Why did they remove them in the first place? I don't know. Maybe they just got so much bad feedback that they're like, okay, let's just give it to them. The company announced plans to reintroduce the beloved UI customization options. In the PlayStation blog post, expect to personalize your PS5 with the themes based on the original PS1, 2, 3, and 4 home screen layouts. When the latest system update begins, it phased rollout, which was April 24th, which that was before, as the PS5 speeds through the fifth year on the market. Through its fifth year on the market. So the PS5 and Xbox Series X and X have been out 5 years already. And like most people said, it feels like they never started at all. And they've been out 5 years already. I had my Xbox Series X for 5 years. People had their PS5s for 5 years already. Whew. 5 years, people. I don't believe it. And I haven't used it that much, so I use it, like I said, for a lot for TV and stuff, but playing games, oh my God. One Element fans had pleaded to see implemented our dynamic themes based on some of their favorite games. It's a customization feature that was present on the PS3 and eventually the PS4, but it's yet to be included in a similar way on Sony's latest home console. Although there are some options for those looking to tailor their home screen experience, the PS5 has mostly gone without proper themes until last December. So maybe eventually they'll bring that out, because why wouldn't... See, that's what makes people happier to have your console, especially a console that hasn't had any proper good first-party games for a while on it, or anything at all to really play except for third-party and other games coming from like Microsoft now and stuff. I hate to say, I feel sorry for your PlayStation people out there, because, I used to love playing PlayStation, and I know I go into this little rant all the time, so I'm going to stay out of it, but you guys deserve better. You pay Sony a lot of money, you guys should get more games, and you should be treated better, and I know you guys are still diehard PlayStation people, but even if you don't like Xbox, you gotta respect that Microsoft, aka Xbox, is bringing a lot of games out. They got a lot of studios. They've been bringing the games out. They've been getting the games on Game Pass. You guys should have something like that on the PlayStation side. And it seems like they don't. Even though they just got Forza Horizon 5, right? That was Forza Horizon 5, right? Yeah, they just got that on the PS5, or it's coming out to the PS5 recently. I saw Jeff Gerstmann playing it. So you got that coming out. That's going to be great. You guys are going to love that. If you never played that before, if you don't play Xbox games and you never played it, oh, you're going to have a nice treat. Nice open world racing treat for you guys on the PS5. Have fun with that game because it is fun as hell. So what, like I was talking about before, both Clair Obscur Expedition 33 came out over the last week, and Oblivion stealth dropped at the same time, and people are calling it Barbenheimer. The energy of releasing at the same week as Oblivion Remastered. So RPG fans now have a difficult choice between spending hundreds of hours in Kyrodiil or embarking on an expedition to take down the murderous paintress in Clair Obscur Expedition 33. A lot of people were saying, why did Microsoft have to drop Oblivion during the week where they also have, which came out on Game Pass, but it wasn't because of Microsoft. It was because of the other studio, which Microsoft doesn't own, that came out with Clair Obscur Expedition 33 on the same week. They just dropped it, and the people that made the publisher of Expedition 33, let's see here, Kepler Interactive. They don't really care too much. They said, yes, it's kind of time, but also remember, like in the film world, Barbie and Oppenheimer both came to theaters at the same day in 2023, and they both did very good, and people played or seen both movies. I seen them both. I own both of the movies, by the way, and but you can do the same thing. And here's the thing, people. Don't get bummed out that both games are, both AAA RPGs are out at the same time or the same week, because here's the thing. You can play them both. You can play one, then you could go on to the other or whatever. You don't have to get all up in arms that these both are coming out. And plus, here's the other thing. If you're a Game Pass member like me, you're going to always be able to play Oblivion. I don't know about Clair Obscur Expedition 33. I don't know if that's going to be a permanent Game Pass thing, because they did release it as a day one exclusive to Game Pass on top of being a purchasable game. But yeah, that'll probably be out, or you can purchase it later. It's all good, people. It's just a lot of good. You'll be able to play it all. And if you're like me and you fell off at Expedition 33, or if you fell off of Oblivion, then you got the other to play. So one or another, you just don't luck out. You get double luck. What can I say? There's nothing to say. It's the company Kepler Entertainment. They don't really give a care. They still sold a lot of these games. They sold a lot of it. Did I put that in here? I don't think I put that in here. I didn't put that in here. So apparently, I don't know why I didn't put it in there. Kepler Entertainment announced that they also they came out with, when they came out with Expedition 33, over 500,000 people downloaded it day one of downloads and purchases, and now they're over 1 million sold as of now, probably even more than that. So, and they say that's the best. They weren't even thinking they were going to sell that many. So they're doing good with Expedition 33 right now. They're doing great. Kepler's fantastically happy with the response with Expedition 33 right now. Even though me personally am a little on the edge. Like I said, it looks like a great game. It looks like a lot of great stuff. I'm just having trouble playing it for myself because my disability, but they're saying people are having a great time with it and people are buying it, and they're having a great time selling it all to people. So there you go. So they're not doing bad at all. So that's great. For you people playing Oblivion Remastered and on places like Steam or on the PC, I guess. I don't know. I haven't checked it out. I should check it out to see if I have any problems with the save file or anything. But if your Oblivion Remastered save files are mysteriously disappearing or not syncing between devices, don't worry. It's not your fault. They're just getting sent to the wrong place. Apparently, loads of folks have been facing the same issue. As it turns out, the way of Oblivion handles save files is a little skeweth right now, and Bethesda states that it's investigating the issue. So where are your save files? So it turns out that for whatever reason, Oblivion Remastered doesn't tuck its save files away alongside all of your other ones. No matter where you've pointed your saves to go, Oblivion Remastered will just head and create its files in the C directory under users, your name for your name of that, documents, and my games /my games. That section, which is a natural section. So if you ever played a game and you always wonder where your save files are and they're not in that place where you think they should be, if you go under your main drive, your C drive, and you go under your name, documents, and there's a My Games folder, that's where the game saves are at. I should check right now. Let me check right now. So if I go here, I go to my documents, my games. I got a bunch of stuff here under the saves here. And Oblivion's one of them. Yep, I got Oblivion. Oh, it says it's empty. Okay, so maybe my saves are going to the right spot. But I got a bunch of stuff here. I got an Unreal Engine thing here too. Okay. I got Train Sim World under here. I got Starfield, Skyrim, stuff like that. Fallout 3. It creates folders for all this stuff. So do I got saves on? Yeah, I got saves for Fallout 3 under here, and Fallout 76, Age of Empires. These are all in my games under the C drive. But strangely though, Oblivion is not. So I wonder if Oblivion's in the correct directory of my thing. I'm going to take a look right now as I'm on my Xbox. The best way to find your game saves and stuff is usually if you go to your Xbox app, PC app, if you're playing this on PC, if you got it from the Xbox PC store, you can go under the thing, go under Manage, and you can check stuff like files and stuff. So if I can go to Browse Files, okay, so it's under my game drive. I got all my stuff here. Got triples for Indiana Jones. What? Why is there triple folders for? Why does Indiana Jones and the Great Circle have triple? Oh, because there's DLC content and stuff like a Lion Tamer Whip and stuff. So they got separate folders for that? What? I did not know that. Let's see here. So here's Elder Scrolls Oblivion Remastered. Content. Engine. Resources. Let's see. Plugins. Content library. Movies. Pack developer. Engine. Binary. I'm not seeing the game save here. But I can tell you it wasn't in the thing. Unless if it is in here and I'm not looking right. Okay, that's weird because I don't see it anywhere. So it's not in there. General. So where is it? Oh, maybe it's also could be. I'm checking here now because I like to check this stuff. Where is OneDrive? I got a OneDrive folder somewhere, I'm sure. Or did I finally get rid of that? Here's game saves again. See, I got Supermarket Simulator on this. Oh, this is under OneDrive. Okay. My games. Okay. Oblivion. Okay, it says the save folder is empty. Under Oblivion. That's interesting. I'll have to check that. Because I'm under that. I see Oblivion here, but saves is nowhere to be seen. Huh. Interesting. So I'll have to get back to you guys on that, but they do say it's supposed to be under my documents, my game saves. It might be saved under my weird other heading thing, but I'm not going to go into that now. But yeah, they said it's still around. Just be careful with it. Somebody else was using it because they were playing it on their Steam Deck. Someone confirmed that his saves are syncing up fine across his PC and Steam Deck. See, I only been playing it on my PC, so it should be fine. I shouldn't have to worry about any syncing. But if I start to play Oblivion on my ROG Ally, I'll see what happens to that stuff. Because I'm very interested, because I don't see my game save anywhere on here. Unless if it's under that third mystery directory that I was wondering about, or I know about. Because my computer's set up way differently than a lot of other people's computers. Because everybody's computers are set up differently, and Windows is wonky with everything, so who knows. You know what else is wonky in Oblivion Remastered? If you want to play on your Xbox Series X or S, because apparently there's some big differences between the two versions. Apparently, if you're playing on your Series X, Oblivion Remastered is said to be running at a possible native output of 1080p to 1274p in quality mode, which is then being upscaled to 4K, while performance mode is listed with a possible native resolution of 1080p. Both modes seem to hit their respective frame rate targets of 30 frames per second and 60 frames per second for most part on the Series X, so that's decent. But if you're playing on the Series S console, Oblivion Remaster is said to be running at a possible native output of 420p to 630p. Yeah! Whoa, 420 and 630p. That's standard resolution. Wow. That's old school, which then is being upscaled to 1260p. So I'm looking at a side-by-side comparison of the Series X and S versions of it being up-resed, and the X and S version, you can tell which is which. Like, it's a little muddy-ish. The character looks a little muddy-ish in the Series S version. I can tell because it's all just smoothed out and stuff, and there's more detail and stuff in the Series X version of the game, even though you should just play this on PC as well. I'm just saying. Which is being upscaled. So they say it's the 420 to 630p is going to be upscaled to 1260p on the Series S. And then it sticks to the 30 frames per second target. Unfortunately, the Series S version of Oblivion Remastered does not include a 60 frames per second option at launch. So 30 frames per second is its limit. And this was all tested by Pure Xbox, if anybody reads Pure Xbox's articles. And then apparently people are asking Digital Foundry to step in with the confirmed resolutions in the near future, because they do some resolution testing there as well over at Digital Foundry. But yeah, that's pretty low for the Series S. But here's the thing. Microsoft made the Series S to be a much cheaper system, so they downscaled stuff. So if people just want to play their Xbox games and don't care about 4K and all that, that's the machine for them. But if you want the 4K 60 frames per second, you're going to have to get a Series X, and there's some qualms about that. Or if you're like me, you got a Series X, you got an Xbox, you got a PC, you got a ROG Ally, you're good anywhere, anywhere. So they got that happening. Next story, Palworld developers challenge Nintendo's patents using examples from other games like Zelda, Ark Survival, Tomb Raider, Titanfall 2, and many more huge titles. So news in the defense of Pocket Pair just emerged in regards to the ongoing patent infringement dispute between the developer and Nintendo over the popular Xbox Game Pass game and other places, Palworld, which is a fun game, people. I highly recommend playing it. Thanks to incredible investigation works by Games Fray, a platform specializing in game legal matters, We now have a detailed look at Pocket Pair's defenses in the Japan-specific patent infringement case, direct from Tokyo District Court. These findings shed light on Pocket Pair's strategy on countering Nintendo's claims and could have significant ramifications for the games industry, which, if Nintendo wins, that could fuck up a lot of people, a lot of games, a lot of other stuff. It's bad. It's a lot of bad stuff in the gaming stuff. But it's often argued that many of those patents Nintendo are going after Pocket Pair for infringing are for game mechanics used in a plethora of other games, and this seems to be the exact tactic that Pal World developers are taking. We now have all the games for the named in the lawsuit, and some of them, many might surprise you or not. So Pocket Pair's argument involves the role of prior games. So Pocket Pair is challenging Nintendo's patents by pointing to prior art, existing games, and technologies that allegedly contain similar mechanics that Nintendo has not also challenged. The argument here is that it lists patents should not have been granted to Nintendo in the first place because the claimed mechanics were already in use. Some of this, though, I look at the list of games. Some of these games are Nintendo-based games, too, so I don't know the legal mumbo-jumbo of it, but why would you... I know that you would name games, but why would you name Nintendo's games? Like, they got The Legend of Zelda, they got Pokemon in here, they got Pikmin and stuff as well, but they got a lot of other games, like I said, their own game, Craftopia, in 2021. I wouldn't add your own game, but Ark Survival Evolved, Final Fantasy XIV, Tomb Raider, Far Cry 5, Monster Super Legion, Rune Factory 5, Titanfall 2, Octopath Traveler, Dragon Quest, Monster Hunter 4G, Riders of Icarus. A lot of stuff in the games list that they're talking about have used the same mechanics and the same stuff as, you know, Nintendo's trying to say, hey, if you got in your game, if you want to use the catch system and the point system, that we're patenting that. And here's the thing, everybody's been using that kind of stuff in their games for catching, releasing, and how the hit rate is or the catch rate is and stuff. Like they're talking about the list above, Rune Factory 5, Titanfall 2, and Pikmin 3 Deluxe make it easy to see how a player character can perform an action to release a monster or capture an item, like a ball, and fire in a direction by releasing a button. Pikmin 3 Deluxe, Far Cry 5, and Tomb Raider already showed that there can be different types of throwable objects. I guess so. I don't remember throwing much objects in Tomb Raider, but I could be wrong on that. Games like Pocket Souls, Octopath Traveler, Monster Super League, and Final Fantasy XIV already show how players can target creatures and get an idea of what their chances of capturing them are. So stuff like that they're trying to go after and say Nintendo can't patent this because these things have already been out in the wild for so long now. And they been using that mechanics for so long now that why were we granting patents for this stuff now so that they can just go after us because they just don't like how Pocket Pair is better than Pokemon. That's basically it. Because they got Pokemon-esque characters with guns and the open world and a lot of cool stuff. And Nintendo's Pokemon games don't do that. Even though Nintendo shouldn't be fucking worried about any of that stuff. They should just allow them to even sell the game on their systems because you know what, Nintendo? You're still going to make tons of money off your Pokemon games. Why do your stupid, ignorant lawyers and such have to go after a company like that when they're not really infringing on anything? Even though they got some stuff like their Pikachu-looking characters and stuff like that. But here's the thing. They're not. They're their own things. And I know there's a lot of Nintendo fanboys and girls out there that'll cry and say, "You're an asshole, Mr. Mike, you're wrong." But here's the thing. They're different games. They're different games in a lot of ways, and Pocket Pair made Pal World to be a better game than Pokemon. And it doesn't matter because Pokemon will still sell millions and millions and millions of copies worldwide, so they shouldn't even worry about it because it's not directly infringing on that stuff. And frankly, like I said, they should embrace it and say, hey, sell it on our system. Let us get our 30% off of your Pocket Pair, your Pal World game. I don't know. They should just let this one through. But it's Nintendo, and they got bigger goals in mind because they want to go after other stuff and about other games and stuff. They want to go after stuff like more ROMs and emulators and stuff. They want that all to be illegal because that's what they are. They're more of an evil corporation than they used to be about a family-friendly company back in the day. It's all about, and it's a corporation. They're a company to make money, but what they're doing, they're getting into the dark territories now. It's that time now when Nintendo gets evil. Evil Nintendo. We're in the evil Nintendo era now, folks. Even though they're trying to be all happy and gloomy and stuff, they're joining the likes of Disney and Google and Microsoft and everybody else and Amazon and all that. And I added Amazon because they used to be fun and happy too. They all get into that part where now they're super strictly business and they're like, we're going to be super business and super evil and try to get away with shit. Instead of just being, oh, we're going to be happy and stuff. And if they're not really taking too much from us or not, but if they're really infringing on stuff that we've created, then it should be like, hey, Nintendo, if you're making a new game with a new aspect, a new thing, why don't you patent it right away? Why would you patent something down the road? I don't know. It seems icky to me on this lawsuit. If Nintendo was trying to go after them for their character designs and stuff, I would more so understand than this stuff. But they're not going after the character designs and stuff. They're going after the mechanics. And in final news, GTA 6 fans should keep an eye out on May 15th, apparently, because apparently Take-Two Interactive will be hosting a quarterly earnings call on May 15th of this year. As parent company of Rockstar Games, Take-Two is likely to either reaffirm that GTA 6's fall 25 release window or announce a delay. So basically, the game's going to either come out this year or it's going to be delayed till next year. But I guess they got to talk about it. Apparently, it's been over 500 days since the first trailer for GTA 6 was released, and we haven't heard not a single thing yet after that, leading to many to believe that a delay could be imminent. But why would they delay that right away? Even though Zach Zelnick stated, though, they're on the track of releasing it this year, but who knows? Currently, GTA 6 is scheduled for this fall. So GTA 6 hit an unfortunate milestone this week, as they say in this article, as it has officially been over 500 days since the game was revealed. The first official trailer for GTA 6 was released on December 4th, 2023. The developer Rockstar Games has been silent ever since. To put it in perspective, apparently Red Dead Redemption 2 and GTA 5 only went 214 and 253 days, respectively, between their first trailers and the release of the official screenshots and more. With days continuing to fly by, fans are growing increasingly concerned that the extended silence from Rockstar could be due to a release date delay. And what I got to say about that, folks, is I don't really care that much. I care because I really do want to play this GTA 6 because I love GTA and I love the GTA games and franchise. But I don't really care either because here's the thing. We got plenty of games out there. And two, GTA 5 just dropped onto Game Pass again. Because it was on Game Pass once before. But it wasn't on PC Game Pass. But it dropped on Game Pass and PC Game Pass. So you can all play Grand Theft Auto 5 again. Especially if you have PC, you can get separate achievements. So, and like I said, with all the other games out now, with the, Oblivion Shadow dropped, Clair Obscur's Expedition 33, you got Doom Dark Ages, you got all these other games, you got the Nintendo Switch and all their games, and probably more games during the summertime, maybe people will be happy if they got delayed till next year. Plus, I want the game very much polished, really good. I would like to see more game trailers. Maybe they'll release a second game trailer. Because usually, like GTA 5 and GTA 4 and 5, they used to have a lot of game trailers go out and stuff. But now it's been... So, who knows? I don't know. I don't really care. Just as long as the game eventually comes out. And it doesn't cost $100 or $80. Hopefully it's just $70. Because unless if they have a really awesome collector's edition that they're going to be putting out with it, with a statue or something stupid that I like. But otherwise, just bring out the game. I got $70 waiting for you guys. Don't make it any more than that, because I'll get really mad. I might still have to buy it, but I'll get really mad, and I'll make sure I have some gift cards or something ready for it. But I'll get really mad if it was more than that. Unless if they're like, ooh, Switch 2's out. We got to make some Switch 2 versions of it. I don't know. Anyway, folks, this podcast is done. I'm done. It's almost been 3 hours. My throat's dry. I got to eat. I'm hungry. It's been a while. It's getting late. I want to play some games today. I don't know. We'll see. So everybody, like I said, this Friday, streaming on GameOn Live, I will be streaming some Lollipop Chainsaw Repop. Wednesday, I should be hopefully having, because I didn't get to play this yet today. I'm going to try to play this day, or I'll play it tomorrow, or no, it doesn't really matter. I can play this anytime, but for Wednesday, for Let's Play, I will be playing Super Mario Wonder for my Let's Play Switch 1 Memories. This is my next Switch 1 memory, playing this game. The next game after this game, I got something in mind for that. So, yeah, folks, I hope you enjoyed this podcast. Hopefully it sounds good when I get it all edited and stuff. And I'll catch you guys again in the next 2 weeks with more GamezAttack podcast fun. So, everybody, until next time, this is Mr. Mike sign out saying, game on, game hard, world conquest. I'm Mr. Mike. I'm pushing this game button. This show is now game over.
I love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace and I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better believe in your mind, cause it's everything. You can mold, shape, find almost anything. All it takes is some time and some clarity to find your identity. It's mind over everything. And when I feel like this, I'm immortal.
Nintendo
ファミリーコンピュータ